button, man.
Okay.
Hopefully we should be able to pick up the pace. Yeah, but we still got about a minute left, so we're just gonna let people populate in, and that's pretty much how the format goes. But yeah, you actually
Mm,
have a cup of coffee with you, or you not? Oh yeah, wait, you're
yeah.
not much of a coffee.
Wait. Wait. Let me show you this. Oh, listen. That's coffee. It's brown. Brown coffee. Copico. I call it
Coffee good.
Copico.
Yo, let's go. Is it like it's the instant coffee, right?
Yep. It's the instant coffee. Like I
Interest.
don't pretty much know how to brew coffee, but yeah, the instant.
Yeah, no worries. Like, do you rely on that stuff in the morning? Is it like something you wake up and you're like, yeah, I need my coffee, or is it just something you have for a special occasion?
Oh yeah, it's just for a special occasion. I don't pretty much drink coffee, but yeah, it's just this once because I actually haven't been drinking coffee like this. I think yeah, this whole month. Like I haven't drank any coffee, but just for this special occasion, I just wanna have my instant coffee ready for me and yeah, start this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a one up on a lot of people here. You guys better step it up. We're a lore server, but we're a coffee server too. So you guys better brush up on your brewology, your coffeeology, and everything of that sort. All right, so awesome. Let's get started. I think it's a good time now. People are just coming in. We're kind of getting nestled. So before I begin the process, everybody, first of all, welcome. We do have an exciting Welkins giveaway. So, yay, you guys who came in on time. We are having a Welkins giveaway. So, one problem. How do people participate? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's probably going to be a giveaway bot. And you have to react to the emote. And now, this is going to be on here for about 10 minutes. So you guys, if you want some of that good old Welkins, if you want 90 Primo Gems every day for the rest of the month, you better hit that react. I can't react to it, because imagine if I won. People would say
Yeah,
it's rigged.
it's unfair. Like
Yeah, and it'd just be like, oh, well, it's kind of fair. I mean, like, it is randomly picked, so to speak, but, yeah. So we'll let that run for the time being. It's pinned if you guys don't know. And for those of you joining us, check the pins, because there is a welcome giveaway. And just to kick off the entire podcast, and also to get everyone comfy, get everyone excited. So yeah, that's how that's gonna go down. And stick around for the podcast, because we are gonna have another one in the middle, as well as the end as well. And last one's gonna be a bit harder, because I'm gonna be personally quizzing the winner on what we discussed today. Well, actually, Clem
yep.
will.
Oh yeah. Wait, are you asking or am I asking?
I don't know, man. I'm just making this all up on the fly, to be honest with you.
Okay,
But
okay.
yeah, but anyways, all right. Let's get started, guys. Welcome to the first episode of One More Cup of Coffee. Or as I like to call
Woohoo.
it, One More Cup. So, why is it coffee? Why are we a coffee-based server? Well, now Haru can correct me if I have this wrong, but a lot, because coffee houses back in the old day, and when I say back in the old day, we're talking Isaac Newton's time, they're essentially where academics met up, right? And I believe one of the oldest coffee houses was established in Oxford, the University of Oxford, if I'm not mistaken, or a coffee house was established there. And that's where a lot of the old intellectuals, the old scientists met up. So there's a whole cultural significance behind the theme of coffee. That it's the drink that binds us all together, all us intellectuals. Not me specifically, though, because I need to remind you guys, I'm not much of a lore person, so forgive me, but I do stand as a standard representation of the layman, so hopefully you guys can bear with me. So, as my first guest today, please welcome a very, very brilliant content creator. You may have heard of his videos and narration over said videos about lore. Please give a warm welcome to KlemenTime. How you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, I'm KlemenTime. I'm a Genshin Impact. Well, as DC said, I create Genshin lore videos, theories, analysis about certain characters, artifact sets, all about the game's lore. But actually, I'm not. We also create skits of certain characters in our channel. But yeah, that's all that we have.
Oh, come on now. I think you're being a bit modest. Skits, skits. It's pretty hard. No, you can't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm going to go create skits, It's something that you have to spend time and writing into. So
I mean,
I'd
yeah.
say, yeah, check it out, by the way. If you search up KlemenTime on YouTube, you'll definitely find his content. And essentially, you can also look at the announcements too. His YouTube is also there, so go check it out. And we also got, well, he won't be speaking today, but we got Truffles in the background, who's Clem's wingman, the guy.
Oh yeah. Actually,
Yep.
Truffles is actually editing a video about about an analysis about Enkonomiya. So he won't be there exactly, but he'll just tune in, or he'll just listen into the podcast.
Okay, gotcha. So he's pretty busy making content already. So
Yeah.
now, I've never had a guest flake out in the middle of a podcast. So I'm going to take that as a win for me. For first for everything, Terra Incognito, Uncharted Land. But in any case, before we kind of get started with the whole thing, with the lore of that, we want to get to know you a bit more. So, kind of on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate yourself with the familiarity of Genshin lore as a whole?
Oh, that's a hard question. I would say, let me think. If I'm familiar, yeah, okay. I'd probably say probably like 7.5 out of 10.
Ooh,
Because I'm familiar with the lore, but sometimes I forget certain things like past events or that, so I just have to research them up to back my knowledge about Genshin's lore.
Gotcha. Yeah, don't worry about it. I was bad at history in school too. So,
Yep, me too.
once you kind of forget about once you gotta remember it, you're like, okay, it happened, and I guess it happened. The end. But it's kind of a different thing when you're sort of thoroughly invested into the story. So, which leads me to my next question. Why Genshin? What got you interested in the lore specifically?
Well, first of all, Genshin is, well, for me personally, I love anime. Like, I read the mangas of every animes that I've, well, probably watched, and that's probably spoiled me about, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. I'm pretty much like an anime guy, so when I discovered Genshin, it's actually like a perfect game for me. Because basically, it's a open world action RPG game, and that's like the perfect. I wouldn't call Genshin a perfect game, right? But essentially, it's because when I first watched the cutscene of the game, it was actually a super intense moment for me.
Really?
Oh
What
wait,
was so
no.
intense about it?
Correction. Genshin is not an RPG game. Sorry about that.
I mean, I would say kind of what was it, role playing game? Yeah, you know what? Sure, why not?
Oh
I like
wait,
to
wait,
role
wait.
play as 4 characters at the same time. That's my MO in this game. I think you could call it an RPG.
I mean, it's basically like a gacha game, right? I mean, like the artifact sets is basically RNG, but what got me invested in the story is basically how the twins got into the world of Tevat
Mm.
and how they got separated. And I got thing inside me, like I wanna go find my sister. Like go reunite with her. That's basically what what the MC is, what the MC's goal is. And when we first, or when I first arrived at Mondstadt, it was actually a beautiful place to first be in, right? Like when I
Mm-hmm.
first played that, we met up with Vency, the Mondstadt characters. I really got I really got invested to their basically their personal stories and whatnot, their personalities, and yeah, it's honestly a very beautiful game that the developers did, and um, and yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, they really put a lot of story into it. Every time I hear about the lore and all the parallels it draws to real life history, can't help but be amazed at the amount of research that they did. I have a few particular bits of lore myself that I kind of appreciate, but if we get there, you guys will definitely hear about that. But I think that's a great start because that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today.
Oh, okay.
And so we start our journey in Mondstadt, right? And
Mm-hmm.
one of the first people that you actually get to meet is Venti, right?
Oh yeah.
A lot
Yes,
of
sir.
people they go on, they're like, oh yeah, let's fish out the emergency food from the sea. Let's take a look at Amber. You first figure out, oh, what's the Knights of Favonia sort of thing. But
Oh yeah,
people
yeah.
forget you first encounter Venti. So I want to talk about him a little bit. So first off, let's kind of wind it back a bit. Venti Barbados. Who is he? And how where does he sit among the Archons?
I mean, well, Venzi is like the weakest of the Archons because he basically founded Mondstadt as a free city, a free nation. But when I think about it, Venti did like the absolute right thing to not rule his own nation, and that speaks truth to what the definition of freedom means. Actually, I actually researched what was that again? Venzi's quote to Devalin when after we saved him. Uh, Venti said that what is wait, let me search that. Let
Yeah, no
me
worries.
let me
Yeah, see, the thing is that the game itself has just so many different lines, and
yeah, it
funnily
has
enough, yeah, it does. The writers really pay attention to it, and they also pay attention to what choices you pick too. That
oh
kind of
yeah,
freaked me
yeah,
out a little bit.
that's true.
Yeah, so that's one cool thing. Your choices are being tracked, by the way. Essentially to
Oh
to what you pick, and there, because you remember that one time they have that statistic, like apparently like 62% of you picked emergency
oh
food when you
yeah.
first started. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder why they didn't like continue that. It's probably just because like a privacy thing, I think, that the Genshin players like complain about. Like it's like they're saying that, oh, this is how Mihoyo tracks your in-game process. They're watching your every move. So it's like when you like yeah, it was before you enter Mondstadt as you encounter Timmy, and and one of the players picked oh, they won't be back again because I killed them. And it's personally funny to me that Mihoyo like knows that you did this.
Yeah, it's their game, so I guess they do it for quote unquote, as it says in their terms of service, quality assurance. But that's for a different story. So yeah, did you end up finding that quote about Venti?
Oh yeah, wait, let me search that. Oh, so it's when freedom demanded you of a god is really not freedom at all. That's what he said. I think. Wait, yeah, yeah, freedom when demanded of a god is really not freedom at all.
Freedom when demanded of a god is really not freedom at all. What does that mean to you in particular?
It particularly means to me as a way of how Venti is like a god, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when gods demand like someone's freedom, it basically means that uh, this god has control over your actions. This god, you don't. This god has control over your decisions, your initial thoughts, and everything. So what Venti thought Dvalin is that you don't need to rely on a god, or you don't need to serve me specifically, or serve anyone else, because you have your own freedom. You can you can have it. You can fight for it and everything. So it's basically telling you don't need me. You don't. You basically it's your own. It's your own decision to do whatever you want. If you want to fight against me, you can. If you want to join me, you can. If you want to come with me, you can. So it's basically like, yeah. I guess I explained it right.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful statement because when you think about it, right, when a figure like a god who pretty much reigns supreme at the top of the hierarchy tells you you're free, you're only free because your god tells you,
Yeah,
right?
your
If
god
your god
tells
tells
you
you
that you're free.
exactly, so if he told you otherwise, you're not essentially free, which is a bit ironic because you're kind of seeing a god show atheistic behavior, which is it's like I don't believe in myself, which is it's kind of funny to think about, but
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah. So what is the difference between Venti and Barbados, by the way? Like, because you see the names used interchangeably, but like Venti is known as Venti amongst the current general
Oh
populace,
yeah.
the tone deaf bard, if you will. But
Yeah,
Bar.
it's like his personal name, Venti. That's
Mhm.
what the Monstat characters called him. But yeah, you're referring to Barbados, right? His Archon name. I mean, all of the
Mhm.
Archons have this weird, I would say maybe demonic names, because every Archon names are derived from the Ars Goetia, if I'm saying it right.
Mhm.
It's basically like a list of demonic individuals that rule over hell and have like a personal power, or a personal power that they have. However, Venti is, I mean, if you search on the meaning behind their Archon name, Barbatos example, but when you refer back to Venti in game, it's like, why would they make or name them as demons in Ars Goetia? I was thinking about why they did that, but it's probably just referring to uh, how Mihoyo likes to reference other names or regions, or basically just everything like in Norse mythology or in the Ars Goetia and everything. And it's basically just saying that they are demons. They have done something wrong, or may yeah. I mean, yeah, the Archons have done something wrong. They have destroyed some things or killed some things. So basically, not every god that we met is good, because they probably have done some bad things, like a lot actually.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what makes mythology, particularly when you're dealing with the divine gods, right? Particularly interesting. Like, for example, when you say that, one of the things I think about is Greek mythology. The
Oh
gods are
yeah,
so interesting because they behave very ungodly, like they're very flawed in a sense. They're kind of
yeah,
just humans going on a power trip. Really, that's
yeah.
that's
Like
the way I
they're
think about
humans
it.
that were so OP.
Exactly. And so one of the things I actually wanted to ask you about is the Archons themselves, in relation to Barbados, because I remember we had a nice conversation previously, and I got to
Oh yeah.
discover that the Archons are actually elected. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. They are. Oh yeah. So the Archons, or the now ruling Archons, are chosen or are elected by Celestia. Now this all happened suddenly when the heavens elected 7 seats or divine seats, and they wanted to spread the message throughout to that, like, if you want the seat, if you want to take a position on the higher ranks, you must prove to yourselves that you are worthy. So basically, every elemental being or a vision wielder or something of a higher authority, they have to like kill themselves or well kill others or basically just kill everyone who wants to that divine throne. So it's basically like saying that the Celestia, the heavens, the gods in Celestia, they want to like minimize the elemental beings in the place. So what they
Gotcha.
wanted to do, is that they wanted to possibly control like the highest or the strongest being there is, an elemental being.
Hmm.
And no, sorry. Let me just drink my coffee here. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. You always got to drink that coffee for the podcast. Definitely. If you guys don't have your cup of coffee yet, now's a good time. By the way, coffee's good stuff. But yeah,
Okay,
essentially. Oh, how was it?
it's really good.
For sure.
It's
Sorry, go
really
ahead.
good.
You were saying.
Okay, so what was he saying again? Okay, wait, I forgot.
So they wanted to, I believe, Celestia. They kind of wanted to choose the most powerful. What was it, elemental being?
Oh, okay. So Celestia wanted to, yeah, they wanted to choose the most powerful or whoever wins the war, they will be elected and they will rule over their respective nations. But what makes this interesting is that Celestia gives them an object, a divine object that we call a gnosis. Now, what this gnosis is particularly interesting because we don't know what this is. It's just said to have a power to connect. Or wait, was that? It has the power to link the gods in possession of it to Celestia, so that they can use the divine powers on them. But for me personally, it's just like a CCTV camera, like watching over the gods or what their actions and just spy against them, or wait, no, spy against them, just watch over them, and if they like create some schemes or evil schemes, they might punish them severely. That is what I think the gnosis that every archon has.
I see. So that's your personal theory on what the
Yep.
gnosis is. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because the way I kind of perceptualize how it is a gnosis is basically an archon speed dial to Celestia. So you
Yeah.
got the yeah, it's their little personal smartphone. So
Yeah.
if you suddenly told me, oh, by the way, Celestia is really the NSA and they're really just spying on everything you do, I'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like your FBI agent watching you closely whenever you browse on the internet.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. So it kind of it kind of raises a bit more questions. It's kind of like, isn't that a good thing? Like they've lost their gnosis. Doesn't that mean Celestia's like, well, why are all the archons in the same spot in Sneznaya? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I guess we gotta play the game to find out. So
Yeah, we gotta play.
so now, how did Venti or Barbados uh, come to choose Mondstadt? How did it all begin?
Oh, okay, okay. So we're talking about the backstory of how Mondstadt was founded. Okay.
That's right.
So let's start it off with how many years ago was that? It was like 2000 plus years, I think, was where the previous god of Mondstadt was named the Caribbean, the god of the storms. Now, this particular god isn't like a god of freedom at all. He was basically a tyrant. He wanted to keep his city off limits, so or wait, he did. Wait, let me think. What was that again? So he sealed his city. He sealed his city in a strong wind that basically not everyone can enter or not everyone can go out there. That so this the old Mondstadt was located in Storm Terror's lair, the destroyed ancient city that was there when we saved Dvalin and reunited Dvalin with his old friend, which is Barbados. But going after that, there was this bard. This bard wanted to like play his lyre or play his music and whatnot. And when he was like playing, well, after it was playing his music, he was a nameless wisp of the winds, or one of the thousand winds, actually approached him. It's like this little elemental being which has wings that can fly and that can basically just travel anywhere because he's a wind. But yeah, he discovered this bard's music, and what he liked about it is that he plays the lyre well. He plays the lyre well, so he wanted to follow this bard, and and they basically became friends. A bard and a wisp of the winds. They like traveled to other places. Or wait, no, they did not travel to other places because there was a seal in the city. But what?
They got around the city, essentially.
Yeah, around the city essentially. But after that, after they became friends, this this bard actually like wanted to go out of the city to discover uh, or to become an adventurer. Discover the new lands that you can go to, the new places that you can or the new cities that you can go to.
Mhm.
And basically, he was actually like really mad that the god that ruling them won't allow it. So this bard like set up a plan to rebel against their god, and that's what basically uh, the foundation of what freedom really means, is that you are opposing this divine entity, and you're trying to obtain the thing that you want the most. So this bard actually planned a whole rebellion and actually succeeded in the end. But unfortunately, this bard actually died because of the war. It was pure chaos inside the old Monstat.
Mm.
But after that, actually, Decorabian was still alive, but the city was in ruins. So the Venzi, the wisp among the winds, decided to challenge Decorabian. But of course, he is just a wisp. How can he challenge a powerful god, god of the storms? Well, he had allies among them. One of which is Amos. Now, Amos is, or Amos, or, sorry, I don't know the pronunciation of her name, but let's go with Amos. Amos is the wife of Decorabian. And Amos saw that Amos thought that Decorabian didn't love her, or they were having arguments every day, and yeah, she just wanted to like probably like plan a divorce on him. So Amos like decided to like rebel or get away from the Caribbean, and so they teamed up together with the Bard and the Wisp of the Winds. That's one of the allies of the name of Fancy. Now the other one I think is who was it? Who was okay. So the other one is actually, let me see my notes here real quick. Okay, so the other one who joined Venti is Andreas. Andreas is the big bad wolf serving as a weekly boss in Mondstadt. So this Andreas actually has like a grudge against Decarabian. So when he heard about the rebellion that's happening inside the city, he wanted to, well, just actually help them win against their war against this god. So he basically he was out of the city. He was outside of the city and was trying to break the storm barrier that was around the old Mondstadt. And that was one of the so that was one of the three who challenged Decarabian into a fight. And after that, uh, luckily they succeeded. Decarabian was slain, and after that, the storms, or the storm winds, or whatever's blocking the old Monstat was basically lifted, and all of the people of Monstat was all free. They are outside of the city. They can go outside the city and possibly discover new lands to govern or to build houses in. But after that, the heavens, or the Celestia, actually actually saw this, and they wanted to govern a new god to serve as the ruler of Mondstadt. So they wanted to first choose the most powerful being. They wanted to choose Andreas, the god of what was wait, let me search real quick. What god is Andreas? Let me search this real quick.
Well, I think he's a wolf, right? So, god of
Yeah.
wolves? I have no idea.
Oh, Lupus Boreas. He is the wolf of the Northwind. Okay. So, where was I? Okay. So they wanted to choose Andreas first, but what that meant is that Andreas needs to govern the people of Mondstadt. Celestia wants to let Boreas rule over the city and like nurture them, teach them the ways on how to survive. Sorry, excuse me.
It's all that good coffee
Sorry
coming out.
about it's the good coffee that's coming out. Sorry about that. That was unprofessional. Sorry, but yeah, after that, that was
No worries,
unprofessional.
man. There's literally no professionalism in any of this at all. I'll be the first one to admit it. So
But
you just relax because you're in good hands.
okay, thank you. But yeah, after that, so basically they wanted to let Andreas rule over the nation, but Andreas actually said no, because his
No.
power actually like freezes the land, or his when he is outside, or when he is near like crops and everything, his surrounding area will actually freeze up, because his power is like too strong, and that he would freeze everything when he that his mere presence freezes everything, like literally freezes everything in its path, in his surroundings. So Andreas said no, because his power is his power is too powerful for the humans to get along with, I think. And then and also he didn't want to rule over the humans, because it seems like a petty work, or I don't know. It seems like a hard task to do. So Andrea said no, and actually just wanted to rest. So he what I researched about Andreas is that after that he actually like dissipated, I think, or just died, and became like this ghost of Andreas. Is that right? Wait, let me check. Um.
So
Yeah.
essentially, we
Okay.
could have
Okay.
had an army of razors if
Yeah. Yeah.
Andreas had had taken the task. You could have just had one big, Mondstadt full of razor people running around.
Yep. like wolves howling every night and whatnot. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's fun. That's funny to think about.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, so the chat said he gave up his powers to nurture the land of Mondstadt, and he died doing so. Okay, thank you for the correction there. So yeah, he actually like gave up his powers to like stop Mondstadt from being a frozen wasteland. So yeah, I think that's how that happened. So Celestia wanted to choose the other one, which is Fancy, or Barbatos, or what we call him. And then, oh yeah, wait, I forgot to mention. Sorry about this. I forgot to mention that
You're
Amos
good. No
actually
worries.
died. Amos actually died fighting Decarabian. That's actually a sad thing. Yeah. So it was actually the Caribbean and Venti who are one of the elected, or who are going to be the elected Archons of Mondstadt. So when they offered it up to Venti, Venti said, "Yeah, I'll definitely be their god, and I will rule their nation." So there. But and then Celestia gave him a. I think Celestia gave him a physical form, or they gave him power so that he can transform into his body. I'm actually like reading chat if what I'm saying is correct. Is that right?
Guess we'll never know. Someone wiki it, by the way.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so he got the. Okay, so yeah, Venti received the Gnosis, which gave him a power up, and basically gave himself a physical form, which is too revealing if you. Well, from the Genshin Impact manga. Oh, okay, okay.
Have you guys read the manga, by the way? Let us know. I kind of read like a few chapters, and then I thought, oh, but my other favorite manga also came out. I'm just gonna put it on pause for a bit, and then I never got back to it.
I mean,
Is it worth it,
it's a
by the
really
way?
good manga. Yeah, it's worth it. It has good characters in it, like, and the plot is good actually. It's about the Futsui and Mondstadt, and yeah, you also meet probably a future character, probably in Sumeru. I'm just
Probably.
theorizing, probably. I won't spoil it for you guys if you haven't read it yet, but it's just someone from Sumeru currently.
Don't worry,
But yeah.
chat's already spoiling it for me, so there's no.
Oh yeah, they said it. Oh god,
Man, we gotta
they
start putting
spoiled you.
spoiler rules in here.
Yeah, or they might get banned. Yeah, but yeah,
It's,
I forgot
sorry, go
to
ahead.
mention, that Venti made his physical form, like, or his body, to be like the nameless bard of his friend. So Venti wanted to what was that word? Give thanks, I guess. Give thanks to his friend for helping him free Mondstadt. He wanted to honor this for his friend. So he actually just like made his body like that of of the bard, or the nameless bard, because we basically don't know his name yet. But yeah, that's actually sad because when Venti wakes up in the morning, he actually like just goes to the mirror and sees himself as his bard friend who died 2,000 years ago. It's basically just a sad Archon backstory or whatnot. But yeah,
Do you know
after
what?
that,
Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt, but do you know what it reminds me of? It actually reminds me of that first quest we did, where the adventurer was living his friend's life because he couldn't forget him.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah, that was actually from Venti's first character story quest.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I never
Yeah,
thought of it
that's
until you
interesting.
told me.
Yeah, the person you're referring to who has not forgot his dead friend and is living as his dead friend, his name is Stanley. Is a I would say a great adventurer, but in game, he's actually like a drunkard around roaming around Mondstadt and drinking and telling his stories of how the great adventurer Stanley did all of these things. But actually, it was actually just his dead friend. He was telling the stories of his dead friend and impersonating him, as um he wanted people to know of his stories. He wanted the people of Mondstadt to remember this figure, which is Stanley's old friend. But yeah, it started out as that. Then we found out that he was actually just impersonating him, and then Venti like freed his soul. I think that's what happened in his first story quest. He freed his soul from the grudges, or wait, from the grudges, from the sadness or from the depression that he felt when his friend died. So Venti pretty much freed him from that guilt of not of the failure of saving his friend, because he and his old friend actually traveled to where did they travel to again? What was that?
Some
Wait, let
ruins, right?
me. Yeah, it was the ruins. Okay, so it was from it. They went to the Mare Jivari. The Mare Jivari is an interesting place because it is stated in the official loading screen description is that it is a boundless ash. Yeah, it is boundless. It is a boundless ash where the wind does not blow. So it's basically when wind never blows, and it's near Natlan. Yeah, it's near the nation of Pyro, I think. Yeah, nation of Pyro Natlan.
Huh. Do we have an estimation of like where that is, like physically on a map, or is that like for us to find out?
Oh, it's. I mean, there's basically no info about it yet on how far it will be from it. There's no like a end game location of where it is.
Maybe it's underground. Maybe that's why it's so hot and there's no wind.
Oh yeah. Oh god, Chad is saying that wouldn't gliding be faster? It's one of Venti's like quotes when he's gliding, and in the Merjivari, there's no wind there. So how will the characters glide if there's no wind there?
What's the neat thing? You don't.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, all right. So, I guess we'll have our questions answered when we go to the quote unquote Fire Nation. I also wanted to ask about since we are kind of alluding to the manga a little bit. So,
Oh
as
yeah.
time went on, they have Monstat. Venti's
Mhm.
now the supreme Archon ruler, but not really, according to his own
Yeah.
philosophy. And at some point, I believe the manga also mentions mentions first few things. Number one, it mentions the person known as Vanessa, who is the what was it the founding figure of the Knights of Favonius, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
yeah. Yeah, she was the founding member of the Knights of Favonius, as you said, but she's also one of the, or she's part of the, or of the what was the, or she was part of the clan which is called the Murata Clan, I think. Yeah, Murata Clan, and her people actually, or her basically wasn't a part of Mondstadt before. She was actually with her people searching for like new lands to live in. They were like searching for new lands to live in, and they basically just reached upon Mondstadt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we good, Clem? Hello.
Hello, hello,
Oh, there we go. We got him. Welcome back.
hello.
I don't know why
What
I haven't.
happened?
I have no idea.
Oh God, wait. Let me check my mic.
No worries, you're good now. Probably just needed more coffee, as people say. But yeah, it's a tough thing. My might could go wrong here or there, everywhere. So while Clem is checking her mic, so as far as I know, if I can carry on from this train of thought, and by the way, this is complete manga spoilers, so you guys should probably get to reading the manga. I've read the first few chapters of it, so I kind of have a sense of how the story progresses and where it goes. But Vanessa came in with I believe, I don't know if it was her clan with the rest of her clan, but essentially they came in as slaves. And at the time, we got to hear a very familiar name that we all know. Hint, hint, vengeance will be mine. Family.
Yep,
Yep,
yep.
yep.
That's
Continue
you.
on from
That's
there.
Eula. Okay, wait. What happened is that. Okay, let me just read my notes real quick.
Yeah, no worries. That's the difference. I don't take notes. I wasn't a notes guy, which just explains my low grades.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe that's kind of what happened. So while Clem's looking through his notes, I'm just speculating here and there, but yeah, essentially, Eula, yes, spoilers. That's why, when you play Eula's story, everyone's like, "Oh, the Lawrence clan, what they did and everything." And it's like, and you're kind of like, "What are you on about?" Yeah, they're kind of snobbish, but what did they do? Now you get to hear about what they did, or part of what they did.
Okay, so where did we left off again?
I think I was
Okay,
trying my best to kind of explain, like, how Vanessa came into the store. So I said, "Oh, she came in with, I presume, some of her clan as slaves, right, in Mondstadt."
oh yeah, yeah. They were basically like taken in Monstat, but what they expected it to be when they lived there is, they're gonna have a peaceful life. They're gonna be living in like a peaceful neighborhood. But what happened is that they were taken in as slaves by the Lawrence clan. The Lawrence clan is actually an evil figure during this aristocracy. Like most of the clans in Mondstadt are like neutral about it. They don't like they wanted to like what was that again? What was that word I was thinking?
They wanted to rule over Mondstadt, or
Oh no,
take
oh,
over.
they wanted to honor
Un-
what Barbato said to them before, which is
gotcha.
to not rule over the people, or to not rule over the people of Mondstadt, but to basically just live as free people. But the Lawrence clan actually did not do that. Like, they became corrupt individuals who like wanted to take everything for themselves. They wanted power. They wanted wealth. They basically just wanted everything in their grasps. So when Vanessa and her clan founded about this, or well, or found, or wait, what was that? Well, they basically just when they found out about that, they wanted to leave, but it was too late, so they were taken as slaves by the
Oh
Lawrence
no.
clan. But during that period, Venti again rose up from his grave, from his sleeping. I didn't know why Venti was like sleeping or taking naps for like 100 or 500 years, and
We
basically
love
just
naps.
wait. Yeah, we love naps, but it's quite a long time since he woken up from his slumber. So when he woke up, he was just like, I think I'm gonna go grab coffee, coffee, and just go back to sleep or
Nice,
whatnot.
nice.
But yeah, but after that, Venti wanted to check the condition of what Mondstadt is. So we went to wait. Let me check the manga. Yeah, let me check chat.
Now we're all
Chat.
gonna read the
Okay.
manga together. This is actually, strictly manga reading session. That's where the whole thing's going into. So you guys better speed read the manga for me, because I'm not caught up. And
Oh,
let me know what
okay.
happens.
Okay, so yeah, so we wanted to go to Mondstadt to check on the condition of what's happening there. But during that, it was actually Ludai Harpastum. It is an event of Mondstadt where they're celebrating. What was that? What was Ludai Harpastum about again?
It's not the Windbloom Festival, is it?
Oh yeah, it's also the Windbloom Festival.
Oh, so it's a ball or something. Oh,
So
how Lawrence family like.
celebrating balls.
It's a it's a ball, people. A ball is a general, gathering of people from throw a party. It's nothing like
Yeah.
what you guys get your head out of the gutter.
Oh, okay, okay. Thanks, Haru. It was actually a celebration to whoever catches to whoever catches something something gets the girl. If I'm not mistaken by what your
Oh
guys are
god, it is
saying.
a ball.
The ball? Okay. Okay, it was the ball. It's the ball. They're catching a ball to get a girl. Wow. Okay, yeah. Wait, let me see. Okay, yeah. That's like the whole event of Ludai Harpastum.
Okay, so is it like so who is there only one girl? Like, is it based on? Oh, I see. Okay, so essentially, from what I'm
Oh,
understanding, from what everyone's telling me, is this dude wanted to court a girl, and the way
girl
he kind of did it was, through I suppose some sort of sport, or well, some sort of competition. Yeah, it
competition.
got, yeah, kind of remind. You know what? I'm getting really bad flashbacks about Temari. That's the
What?
only thing that's in my mind right now. The stupid little kid that appears on every single island in Inazuma and asks you to play his dumb game, and you want the precious chest, right? So you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
gotta do it.
you
So
gotta
yeah,
you gotta play with his ball, like, right? Was that the game?
PG. We're keeping
sorry,
things PG.
sorry, sorry, sorry. Sorry. We're keeping it PG.
Oh my god! But yeah,
Sorry.
essentially, we were
Yeah,
playing with a spherical object that,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. We
that.
want to find his hidden what's another word for ball?
It's not getting any better. Oh my god! But so
Oh
yeah,
God,
so it's
sorry.
essentially, I suppose that's kind of where the what the festival kind of comes from. Courtship of a girl and
Yeah.
everything. So there's festival. So what happens afterwards? What's next?
Oh, okay. So when Venti visited that, and during the festival, he found out that Mondstadt was basically in danger. So Venti wanted to like save it, and what he did was actually just funny. He like what actually happened to the manga? He like he bullied, right? He bullied the guy who was courting the girl, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, yeah. So Venti took the ball and ran away, and after that, wait, sorry, sorry.
It's kind of like a game of like, catch the bride's
Yeah,
bouquet. Yeah, bouquet. Yeah, right, where accepts with the ball, and he
yeah.
just catches it, and he just yeets off.
Yeah, it's basically just it's yeah. Sorry, I can't think. Okay, okay.
No worries, man.
So when after we would so yeah, he got the ball from the oh and he catched the ball and ran away. After that, he actually run in with Vanessa. Vanessa with the red hair, or the slave that came into Monstat before and was taken in by the Lawrence clan. But after that, he bumped into Vanessa, and basically the guards caught Venti and took him into a jail cell, or a jail. Oh God, he took him into jail. Okay,
I go to
took him
jail,
into jail.
basically.
He went into jail, and he met with Vanessa, who's actually staying there too. So they talked about certain things of what's happening to Mondstadt, and Celeste or Vanessa believing that Venti is a god, or is the god of Anemo. Normal jail. Sorry, yeah, it's a jail. But after that, Vanessa actually asked Venti about the gods in the heavens, or Celestia. And when Vanessa asked that, Venti was actually like really nervous. Like he actually was like, "Oh God, how can I answer this question?" Like it's basically just a contract to shut my mouth about what Celestia really is. But yeah, I mean, Venti like skipped the question. He like dodged the question of Vanessa, and he basically just asked her a question, I think, or help, or he's wait. Oh God, it's been a long time since I read the manga.
Yeah, no one really remembers anything from the manga, anyways. They all remember it from the anime. There's no Genshin anime, so why remember anything, right? It's coming soon, anyways.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Oh okay.
think.
I think there might be an anime soon, which I'm really hyped about that. If Mihoyo decides to make one, Copium.
Copium, for sure,
Opium.
definitely. So so basically, Vanessa and Venti have this encounter, and in the prison, and they kind of get to know each other, I suppose. So, how did Venti play a role in regards to guiding Vanessa and kind of like building the modern Mondstadt that we know today?
Hmm. Well, I mean, he did play a bigger role when he decided to like help them liberate Mondstadt against. Oh shit! Let me. Against the aristocracy. Yeah, Venti played basically like he's the main protagonist who protagonist who wanted to help the hero overcome their difficulties. But yeah, Venti guided Vanessa into like setting up a plan to like reveal himself to the Lawrence clan that hey, I'm still here. I'm the god of Animo, or Venti, or Barbatos is still here watching over you. And he wanted to like tell the aristocracy that to get the fuck out, sorry,
Yeah, no worry.
get out.
You could say that. You
I
just
can say it right.
when it get yeah, you could totally say it. Just no balls. That's
Yeah,
the
no balls,
general.
no balls, no balls. That's like the general rule of like the main rule that to not say while in this podcast. But yeah, the Venti just told the Lawrence clan to just f the fuck out, or yeah, get
Yeah,
the fuck out of here.
get out of my house, basically.
Yeah.
It's actually quite
Oh yeah.
interesting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh oh you first. Oh, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say because the whole concept, as you said before, of Venti is kind of like the Eternals. If you ever watched it from Marvel, essentially, it's like, oh yeah, we can't interfere with anything, or we were told never
Oh yeah.
to really interfere. And so it's interesting to see that in this particular incident, Venti himself wakes up and finds everything going to shit, and
Yeah.
he goes in and he does the interfering himself. So, like, personal opinion, do you think that like kind of contradicts his own ideas of freedom, or do you think it still aligns?
Hmm. I mean, Venti has a yeah. It probably won't contradict, right? Because Venti is basically like saving his nation of Mondstadt by basically not showing his power or his true form. I mean, he showed his true form later on, but when he first woke up and went to Mondstadt to see what happens or what's the status of his nation, he was like in shock that something like this could happen, right? Like
Hmm.
he told his people to uh, um, become a free man or woman and build your own nation, nurture it. So when he found out that this is happening, like there's chaos everywhere, everyone is sad or depressed or angry and everything, basically bad emotions everywhere. Venti, Venti like literally had no choice but to like again guide and help the mortals. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted to he wanted to again help them, but necessarily not like interfere person or interfere like in a certain way that it would end faster. He wanted to like establish a rule, right? A rule that this is a free nation. Nothing can or no one can rule in this city. So he wanted to basically um, uh, ensure that that rule stays in Mondstadt. So he basically found Vanessa to be the chosen one or the worthy one who could help Mondstadt become free of this certain threat, which is the aristocracy. Yeah, this
Gotcha.
Sorry, I was reading chat. Sorry.
No worries. It happens to me all the time too. I'm just going like, what? Sorry, what were you saying? I was reading chat, but yeah, for definitely
we're like,
for
or
yeah,
like
it
streamers, like,
happens. Like it's right in
yeah,
front of you. There's no avoiding that. I could like close
yeah.
it, then I would have no
I'm
idea what's
like,
going on.
but yeah. So Venti would like wanted to instill this on his nation, the rule that we're talking about. So he chose Vanessa as the worthy one. So he
Hmm.
talked to Vanessa about how about staying here in Mondstadt and guiding the people, or creating a system that the humans themselves will be the ones to guide themselves, or be the ones to help, or make the nation. Or wait, what was that again? Wait, let me drink another, or let me take a sip of another coffee.
Yeah, no worries. One more cup, by the way. One more cup. That's all. That's all that matters here at the moment. If you can keep having that one more cup, and that's every one of you guys as well. You're golden. You belong here. But essentially, oh,
Oh,
wait.
sorry. Actually, Aster is here today. Chill with Aster. Hello. She's in chat currently.
Hello, Aster. What are you doing here? Guess we'll find out soon. But
Oh, wink, wink.
wink, wink.
Spoilers.
We're gonna have to redact that out of the recording.
Yep, we gotta,
Probably.
we gotta.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
Yep.
okay, yeah. So sorry. What did you? Sorry. So previously, before I interrupted you, what did you find out?
Oh wait, I actually almost forgot. What was that again? Wait. Oh god, I keep forgetting things. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Oh, don't worry about it. If yeah, listen, if you can't remember it, it's fine because we got so much content, man. We got so much content to talk about. So don't worry about it. It's actually quite an interesting place you've brought us to in regards to the story of Monstat and everything because now that what we've talked about so far is Vanessa's now the worthy one. Now,
Oh,
what's
okay.
what's interesting to me is that you know Venti says that people have the freedom to do X, Y, and Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but however, it only extends to a point, where people can quote unquote rule in a sense. So if they're kind of like quote, ruling over Mondstadt, that's considered, I suppose, a violation of that type of thinking or philosophy. So I wanted to talk about exactly how Mondstadt is really run, and so I wanted to ask about Mondstadt's government. I'll give you, if you need to, I'll give you some time to kind of scroll through that section of your notes. But because
Oh,
to me, it's kind of interesting. It's like, okay, if no one has the right to rule Mondstadt, then how is it run? Like who's supposed to run it? Is it run by different bodies, organizations? Like how is Mondstadt governed?
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Let me scroll through my notes here again.
For sure. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm thinking about because it's like, well, freedom entails a lot of things, but it also entails, one end of the extreme. It's like, well, I have the freedom to rule over Mondstadt. That's kind of
Mhm.
the way to do it. So I'm curious to kind of find out what is Mondstadt's governing system right now.
Okay, okay.
Because to me it's quite an interesting conundrum. I think you could argue civilizations of within our real world have tried this before as well. So I'm curious to see how Mihoyo writers addressed it.
Okay. So because of we actually have a upcoming video which is called The Seven Nations Governments. So it's basically us explaining how each government system works in all of the nations in Tibet. That's basically telling how is Mondstadt governs, Liyue, Inazuma, Natlan, Sumeru, what was the basically all nations or how they are governed. But I will just quickly dive into the system or the government system that is in Mondstadt or the Land of Freedom. Okay, let
Mm-hmm.
me see.
By the way, for those of you who are listening, you're only getting one city today, because it took a while for me to convince him not to essentially give away the entire video, but we get one. So be grateful, guys. If you want to hear about the other governments, feel free to tune in. KlemenTime. That's Clemen and then time
Yep,
to figure out what
with
the
a
other
K.
governments with a K to figure out what the other governments are. So yeah, you got your notes there?
I'm currently reading it, just
Yeah, no
seeing
worries.
how it works.
Yeah, because I imagine it's kind of complicated, isn't it?
Yeah,
With
it's a complicated process.
because it's
Um,
like for me, and you can go ahead and keep on reading while I talk about this.
oh,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
to me, it's kind of like, well, how far can you really push the idea of freedom? What are you free to do? What are you not free to do? How do you determine, what exactly is a violation of freedom and an enactment of freedom? So a government system under that, it would be kind of a little bit of a balancing act, because someone could say, well, I'm free to rule over Mondstadt. Why aren't I free? And clearly Venti is opposed to that. Well, so why aren't I free to do it? I suppose the Lawrence family, within themselves, quote unquote, freely, built their way up towards a quote unquote ruling class, and as a consequence of that, they freely, with like triple quotes, took control over that, and kind of enacted upon what they wanted to do. They were free to be corrupt and all that stuff. So essentially, it's a bit of it would like a deep dive into how the governing systems essentially affect, or how they perceive the notion of freedom, because it's a pretty complicated subject, in my opinion. What do you think, Clem?
Oh, I was like really focused while listening to your saying, but yeah, it's really interesting of what you're saying. But from my, I think I'm gonna from what we gathered as an information, there are two possible types that were either matched together or taken some inspiration from, which are so the first one is actually the is similar to an Ordenstat, which means a state of the Teutonic Order.
Hmm.
So let me explain what Ordenstat is. So Ordenstat is ruled by a Teutonic Order, a religious order that was first founded as a military organization during the Third Crusade in 1190 AD. So this order's goal was to aid the Christians from the north on their journeys to the Holy Land, and to establish infirmaries to help the sick, while also serving as a military order in assisting in battles. So most of its members are German with knowledge of medicine, and are said to dress as knights with wings or horns. And this order's motto is help, defend, and heal. Now, how is this actually similar to Mondstadt's government? Well, it has a theocratic feel to it, because while the head of the state is the Knights of Favonius, rather than fronting their military, they front the Church of Favonius, which is evidence of the church being located at the highest point of Mondstadt, which is basically putting religion as the forefront of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Church of Favonius acts as a ideological leader. But the social authority of Monstat. Wait, yeah, so the Church of Favonius is the ideological leader and social authority of Monstat, while the knights are are basically the acting governments or the ones who instills rules.
Gotcha.
Okay. So for how the knights are organized, it's kind of similar to an Ordenstat. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, it's kind of similar to an Ordenstat. In the Knights of Favonius, the highest position in Mondstadt is the Grand Master. But the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius is a singular position that holds limited power. However, it is not a... Wait, let me see. Let me check my notes. Okay. Let
Funnily
me see.
enough, Mondstadt's kind of like the first city where we get our wings. So you could argue the Knights of Favonius also have wings, like just
Yeah,
like the Ordenstat.
they have gliders. So
Yeah, we got our gliders,
let
which
me...
is pretty cool actually. So they're already, there's kind of a lot of parallels between the interesting stuff of real history, as well as the lore of Genshin Impact as well. I like that about Mihoyo. They really, really do focus on the littlest details. So, essentially it's like, oh, where, who else but Amber, the gliding champion, do we get our wings from? And then it turns out, oh yeah, by the way, the governing system in which one of the possible governing systems is reflected of the knights also have wings too, and it's like, oh well, that kind of makes sense. Okay, Outrider, not gliding champion, Outrider, number one Outrider. That's that's definitely the thing. What'd you find out, Clem?
Okay, so I was just thinking actually. But so moving on, how they elect the Grandmaster is in the Ordenstats rule, is that they gather like higher officials or what I say members within the Knights of Favonius to actually like vote for who they think is worthy of being the Grand Master. So because of that, um, basically it's not about lineages. It's also just about their strength or how their leadership works. And to think about that actually is that every candidate of the Grand Master has to have like experience or a what would I call it? Or has to have an expertise on leading or leading or leading something and actually have the power or the words, the knowledge to do so. So that's one rule of how they elect a grandmaster. I mean, we can basically see this from Arundelen. Oh wait, let me explain. Arundelen is actually one of the grandmasters in Knights of Favonius, and he was actually like he was not a he didn't come from any lineages. He didn't come from any clans. He was like a normal soldier, but he trained hard. He trained hard, and actually have like a lot of experience in leading the people. So that's like one way of how they elect grandmasters is basically just voting for who has the let me think who has the will or the power to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Now the oh yeah. I think that's one possible type of Mondstadt's governments. Now the wait, let me see. Okay, let me think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a pretty I suppose it's kind of like a fairish system. I suppose the biggest power dynamic is either the knights or the church itself, which is kind of like how why we see a lot of people have a devotion to that. And funnily enough, also kind of why we, to me it kind of makes sense now why Barbara of all people, she turned out to be the city's idol, and that's because, as you say, it is the sort of authority for social aspects of it. So what better representation of social aspects and sheer undenying devotion than an idol, right?
Yeah.
All you idol fans, you know what's up. You're all guilty. Basically the same thing.
So, yeah. But moving on, I do want to like explain also the government system of Watasumi Island, which is located in Inazuma. If you guys are interested in knowing about it.
Yeah, Watasumi Island is definitely kind of an interesting topic. Ooh, we got a lot of people interested. You know what? I'll give you the option. If you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome. Or if you want to, just tell them to watch the video. It's up to you because it's your time, man.
I guess I could add a few words about what Enkonomiya or what the government system of Watatsumi is. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
go
said
for it.
Enkonomiya. It's Watatsumi. So let me see. How can I explain this? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to kind of see, the differences between the governing systems, as well as how much of a foundation they have towards the the IRL culture that they're very heavily influenced by.
Mm. Yeah. It's interesting how Genshin references these types of things into their game, but
For sure.
it's honestly really fun that they are doing that. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they might also add some references to your guys's nation, which makes us also happy. Like, for example, for those who don't know, I'm from the Philippines. So what if Genshin also references some things that are that are in my country's rules or systems or the different places that we go to or are in the Philippines? That would probably make me happy too, because it's like Mihoyo references this in their games, and yeah, I mean
Oh,
Watatsumi is also Watatsumi is pretty much in real life is similar to Okinawa. Now Okinawa is from Japan, but Okinawa is actually like a separate nation from them.
yeah, it's kind of like an
It's
odd space, isn't it? Because like you have a lot
yeah,
of American influences as well because of the past history.
yeah. So actually, the Okinawans have their own cultural history and also have a different ethnic group, which is unique from those in Japan. So this is also very similar to Watatsumi, right? Like Watatsumi has a different set of cultures. They follow the serpent god Orobashi, they worship him. They don't worship A or or the Raiden Shogun because they are their own separate nation, right? But actually, going back to their governments, um, it's basically saying that Kokomi, Kokomi is actually like the ruler who sees all, or who basically is the ruler of that nation. I'm not saying like ruler like she's like the one. She's the she is the official who handles affairs. And also has the absolute authority, and she has no like legal limitations on her power to like govern Watatsumi. And also to be said, Kokomi is also the Divine Priestess. Now, the title of Divine Priestess is that it is passed down through the bloodline of Watatsumi. So she also has this inherited power to also look after her people. Sorry, I'm lost for words here. Wait, let me see.
It's a Finding Nemo reference. The butt.
Yeah. But well, let me read. Yeah. Sorry for saying that, but yeah, it's I'm basically saying that Kokomi is like the leader who handles all affairs in the city regarding food, rituals, or basically battles and whatnot. And yeah, that is like the what would I say, the system of how Watatsumi is governed. It's basically just governed by Kokomi. I mean, she is the one who like started a rebellion against the Raiden Shogun, right? So it's basically just saying that she has the power to do anything, just anything that is good, but not that bad too.
So would you call it a monarchy?
Yeah. It's called a absolute monarchy or a theocratic absolute monarchy.
Okay, that's interesting. So would you kind of draw it to something like the Vatican, maybe, like kind of its own little little system, and Kokomi's sort of the quote unquote pope, though I'm not really familiar with the system of the Vatican, so I'm not exactly sure, but
yeah, me too. But yeah, I think so, maybe. I mean, she is the Divine Priestess, like she has like ties with the Orobashi, so maybe, just maybe. Not 100% sure though.
That's interesting. And that's all you're getting, guys. If you wanna listen to the rest of his thoughts on government systems, you're gonna have to wait for the video. Clem's already super generous to share everything. Well, not everything.
I mean, I wouldn't know though, because Truffles actually like researched a lot of these things and added like a little bits of everything that, you know, the theocratic system and everything. Truffles is actually like the one who should be credited here, because he actually did a lot of research regarding these different systems and how they also relate to the nations in games. So yeah, big shout out to Truffles.
Shout out to Truffles. If you're listening, buddy, you shouldn't be listening. Keep editing your videos. But all right. So I wanted to get back to Vent here, kind of like, well, essentially your closing thoughts on it. So if I'm not mistaken, you had some theories as to what could be in the next character story quest, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a few theories, but when I researched some of it, actually, a lot of people have made theories about what Venti's next story quest will be. I mean, if we revert back to 1.5, which is the release of Zhongli's second character story quest, when we ask him about Celestia, he basically answers with no, which made me really mad about him, but I mean, it is his contract, right? He is the god of contracts, so he has to fulfill with not saying anything about Celestia. But Venti, though, Venti likes to say rather to say like interesting things about certain topics that wouldn't be answered or wouldn't or it should not be said. So what I'm thinking is that Venti in his next character story quest when we meet him again in the future, the traveler might ask him. The traveler might ask him, "What is actually Celestia? How are they? How are they? What? No, what are they really? What are they planning to do?" So that's like one of my thoughts on how it would start, and it's basically just me telling that Venti's second story quest might be a huge thing in the storyline or in the plot of Genshin. I mean, Venti likes to spill secrets, right? Because he's like the god of freedom. He likes to say certain things. I mean, he might reveal that truth soon to the traveler, and I think that's my theory regarding regarding what is going to happen in his second story quest.
Gotcha. That's interesting. That's a very interesting theory. And lastly, before we move on to the next topic, by the way, I kind of wanted to ask you this question. So, in your opinion, do you think at the very beginning of the Genshin story, told from the traveler's perspective, if the traveler never disturbed Venti and Devon's reunion, would we have to had needed to fight Storm Terror? Would this whole thing would have happened? Like the whole incident of like, oh, Devon's mad now. Now he's rampaging through the city, and now
Yeah.
he's holed up in the old Monstat. If he just minded his own business, would this have ever happened? In your opinion?
Yeah, it wouldn't have ever happened, and basically Venti would have cured the Valen already, and it would just like revert back to normal, and the whole storyline of Mondstadt would not like go to that certain point in the end where we have to go to Mondstadt to find the Grandmaster Jean and everything. So yeah, I think it's like a it's like if you haven't interrupted him, none of this would ever happen, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of like
Like
a
it would,
200 IQ move. We created the
yeah,
problem, and we fixed it, and we get
yeah,
praised for it too.
yeah. I mean, we basically just solve every nation's problem, and if we ask about certain things, if we ask about her sister, none of all of them will just answer, "Oh, we don't know anything. Just go to the next nation and ask about it and solve it again." Right?
Yeah, it kind of
It's
makes me
like,
think. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I'm actually done.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, do we just cause every problem we fix? Is that how the traveler rolls? Like rolls into Lee, you're at, oh, I caused this problem accidentally. Oh, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna get praised for
Oh,
it. That's
I mean, during the story, it's basically just the Fatsui wreaking havoc, right? I mean,
mhm.
in Inazuma, it's Child. Child is wreaking havoc among Liyue, and he's like the one who summoned Asile to like destroy or wipe Liyue Harbor out of Tevat. In Mondstadt, though, I mean, yeah, there was La Signora there, but she came in a little pretty late and took Venti's Gnosis.
Mm.
And
Gotcha.
as for Inazuma, though, I mean, yeah, in Inazuma, the Fatsui has like the Fatsui has a big contribution on the problem that is happening. Like they're the ones who caught, or they're the ones who created the Vision Hunt decree, the Sakoku decree, and everything. So yeah, the Fatsui is like the one who's wreaking havoc amongst the nations. And when a traveler steps in, he's the one who solves the problem, not like the Archons. I mean, the Archons basically help him, right? But yeah, it's just like the traveler just going bouncing onto every nation and like, oh, you have this problem? Well, I'll fix it. He's like the carpenter or like the electricity guy who who travels to every nation and just talks or who likes to oh god, I am lost for words. Sorry.
No worries. And while he's lost for words, we're actually going to have another Welkins giveaway mid podcast at the moment. As usual, react to the the emote in there for your chance to win 90 Primo Gems every day for a month. I'm like Linus Tech Tips right now. I got to plug every time every opportunity I got. Sorry, you were saying, Clem.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot. Joking, I didn't. But yeah, it's just like the traveler just it's just like the traveler like traveling to different nations and just fixing the Archons' problems, which I think would have been solved by the Archons themselves, right? I mean, Venti, Zhongli, and the Raiden Shogun would have fixed the problems that were caused by the Futsui. Well, not in Mondstadt, because Storm Terror is the main villain there, or is the main bad guy. But yeah,
Yeah, and whose fault was that? Ours.
ours.
But yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Maybe with the exception of Inazuma, because Mondstadt. It's like, had we never interrupted Venti and Dvalin,
Yeah.
all this crap would have never happened. And then Li Yue, we find out all this crap was meant to happen. And
Oh yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter if you defeat them. We were gonna defeat them anyways, and you
Yeah.
just proved our point.
It's like we're just testing them if it would like work if the wait, should I spoil? Yeah, I mean everybody played the last Archon quest, right? Yeah. There's no like new players here that's watching, right? Okay.
Nah, I think everyone's
No.
played at this point, and if they haven't, it's their own fault.
Okay, but yeah, I mean Zhongli revealed to us that he's the Geo Archon. And he basically revealed to us that, oh, it was just testing the city. I mean, you didn't have to barge in, traveler. Like, it was all going according to plan. And if Liwa fails to defeat the god, then I would just, like, step in and just revert it back to normal, right? I mean, Zhongli's plans, like, or wait, Zhongli or the Geo Archon's plans, like, would have probably not gone well if the traveler was not there.
Absolutely. So we're just basically gate crashing Teyvat. Like we're just trying to find our sibling, and just like literally fixing issues that aren't issues. Which is kind of funny to me. It's like that's all you do. It's like you gate crash into a wedding, and the only reason why the wedding has issues is because you're there, and then suddenly you
Yeah.
fix the problem and everyone's cheering, and you're like, yeah, I did this. And it's like you also caused this too. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the
Yeah,
heck you're
it's
talking about.
you have a point.
I just find that so funny. It's definitely really cool. All right, cool. So I wanted to talk about another topic, which is the ley lines, pretty briefly, because we're actually having a lot of fun here, and I want to
Oh,
make sure we
okay.
cover as many topics as possible. So many of you know this topic specifically for it once you're out of Mora and out of XP books, and so you'll definitely go to these different ley lines. So gold ley line, blue ley line,
I
definitely.
mean,
But
yeah, there's.
I'm
I mean, it's
sorry, what?
also interesting because the next event in 2.6 is actually going to be about ley lines. You get double the drops when you like defeat enemies and stuff. I mean, it's a good topic to talk about, but yeah, the ley lines events is also gonna have a rerun soon.
Yeah, so I was curious, like, where do they fit in the story? It's not like they're just conveniently there so we can just, like, grab more money out of a magical flower that sprouts out every time. That's actually one of my personal questions. Why flower? Like, where does that fit into the lore? But, there's definitely more to it than just farming. So, what can you tell us about ley lines?
Well, from my personal understanding of ley lines and what I have researched, ley lines are this type of roots or well roots that are stretched out into the world. So in every place you go to, like underground or the outside, there are ley lines there, everything. So even down into the abyss, there are also ley lines there. So what these ley lines do is actually they they record everything that has happened in the world. So it's kind of an interesting thing because these ley lines basically know what happened from, I think, before this world was governed by the Seven. The ley lines also know the truth of it. So oh wait, let me see. Yeah, ley lines. Okay. So every ley lines in the whole world, there's this interesting silver white tree which is called the Irminsul. Now this Irminsul is actually like an ancient tree. I mean, quoting from the loading screen description of the game, it is a ancient tree whose roots reach every corner of Teyvat. They contain information about Teyvat, and that's an interesting thing because the Irminsul, which is a reference to the, if I'm saying this right, is the Yggdrasil in Norse mythology. The Yggdrasil is also like a huge tree which its roots cover like the whole worlds of the Norse mythology of
the 9 realms, right?
yeah, the 9 realms. So what this directly references is that they what they are really is just a mystery because we don't even know where these ley lines came from. They just appeared suddenly and they just record memories, or they show wait, let me read this real quick. Yep. Yep. Oh god, what did Haru say? Okay. Okay,
That's
so
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
so what I was just saying again is that uh these ley lines don't also store memories inside them. They store like this physical things or physical projections of a certain event. So let me give you an example of okay of Tsurumi Island. So Tsurumi Island, from my own words, is a ley line abnormality. It's basically just the ley lines looping every event that has happened before and just keeps on looping it until us, the traveler, like stops it, and the ley lines go back to normal. So it's kind of like a time loop where the ley lines are showing this part of the events that happened before. But what's interesting is that is that this tends to happen when a certain event so big that it also caused the ley lines to quake. So when a ley line quake, it creates a ley line disorder. Now this ley line disorder can vary from, can vary from all the things that has happened. I mean, from the domains, there's the text there called ley line disorder. From the events, there's the ley line disorder and everything. It basically happens when something big just dropped, an explosion, or basically a war, or a devastating event that happened, just like the cataclysm. And yeah, the ley lines record this and they show it as a projection. It's basically not a real thing that is happening, but just a projection of a past events. And thanks, Haru. It's also from Dragon Spine too. Like the Skyfrost nail just dropped in Dragon Spine, and a huge ley line disorder happened, which is the snow, which is the winter that is happening there. That the snow never melts; it just continues to become snowy and everything. But yeah, I mean, also in the chasm. Oh god, wait. I mean, I can. Is that spoilers? I'm actually reading chat as we speak because someone said here Chasm. Oh wait, Chasm also has a nail too.
Well, I think we know this because if you've watched the trailer, you would it's very apparent, like we see it already. So it's kind of public information at this point. It's like,
Oh,
thing
yeah, yeah.
sticking out of the ground that looks like the thing we saw on the top of Dragonspine. What else could it be? So I think you're safe.
Okay, okay, I'm safe. So yeah, also in the chasm there was a Skyfrost nail that dropped there. But basically what happens in the chasm is that a huge meteor crushed in there. Now, as we can see from from the trailer of the 2.6, Paimon said that a huge city is turned upside down, which is interesting because it basically tells us that this meteor is a civilization because it has buildings that were turned upside down. So uh, it's an interesting plot to take a look into, right?
For sure, definitely. And you guys will probably, be playing 2.6 with that in mind as well. So keep a lookout for the parallels. So, if I have you correct in which is that ley lines are sort of the natural historical archive of memories, emotions, and past events from Tevat over the
Yep.
years. Does that mean every time we do like a Mora ley line or an EXP book ley line, we're basically just grave robbing from history?
Wait, uh, I think so. Maybe I don't.
That's so
Maybe I
funny.
don't know.
It's like,
It
what do
was
you
like
do?
we're like,
Oh, I go back in time and I rob people. That's
I
great.
mean, it's a great theory. I would call it a theory. I mean, we're just like it's like a bank account of a person. Like we're just stealing all their money from the past, and it's like it's an
Yeah,
interesting thought to to
because
think
I
about.
find, yeah, because my strongest evidence for that is that the memories themselves, as we've seen in A's second story quest, right? The memories
Mhm.
themselves seem to be conscious beings, essentially not a full one-to-one representation, or perhaps a representation of said beings or people that it recorded, or their thoughts at the time, but you're able to interact with them without altering history. That's what from what I understand of the story quest. So to me, it doesn't seem off that you could, for example, if you really were tapping into this dude's bank account every time, you'd be able to interact with it, but it wouldn't change the history of it, right?
Yes,
You'd
yes.
still be able to interact. Your values go out, things go in, and whatsoever. So maybe that's the get rich quick scheme that
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's
It's that everyone's spending their resin on.
absolutely, that definitely. And now the economy of resin, that's another story that I'm not going to
Yep.
dive into. But yeah, so yeah, well, thank you for that. Anything else you want to say about ley lines?
Oh yeah. I mean, there isn't much info about this, but um, the Hexane Circle is actually a group of witches that conducts Irminsul explorations. So what that means is that there's a group which their main mission is to find this Irminsul trees and look into the history of what they recorded. Now, one of the people here is actually Alice's mom. Oh wait, no, Alice's mom, Klee's mom, Alice. She's one of the people in the Hexen Circle, and it's basically telling us that Alice's mom, or how Alice's mom knows about the traveler's whereabouts, is because she conducts this explorations and reads into what is happening, or the history of what happens in certain parts of the world. I mean, we can also see this with Dainsleif too. His title is called the Bowkeeper, which, if I'm correct, the translation is that he is the keeper, keeper of the, keeper of the, uh, keeper of the tree. Wait, what's the official translation of Bowkeeper?
The keeper of people's expectations for the next patch. That's what I find. Everyone's always shouting, "It's Dainsleif! Oh, it's Dainsleif!" And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. So it's branch keeper. Branch keeper. Bow is a main branch of a tree. Okay. Okay. I just read chat. It says my mom says it's like stick grabber.
Okay. So he picks
Okay.
up sticks in a metaphorical sense. So, you know, if
Yep.
the
And
I
like,
suppose sorry, go ahead.
oh, no. You first.
I was just gonna say, is, you know, it's the whole metaphor to the tree. Essentially, if you're picking up the sticks, you're really picking up little pieces of history or artifacts that contain, said energy of the history that occurred. That's what I get, anyways.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how does from the collected miscellany? How does Dainsleif know this? All of the playable characters, the skill sets, or the constellations they have, or how they do in battle. How does Dainsleif like know all these things? Now, my personal, or no, not personal. I mean, the theory behind this is that he actually is one of the Irminsul, or one who conducts Irminsul explorations, and is like really close to the big tree, which is the Irminsul.
That's interesting. So we definitely would be seeing that. It kind of makes sense because, like, there's a ley line there and there's Dainsleif, so he's there collecting branches, I guess.
Yeah, and like reading their history and stuff.
Cool. That's an interesting perspective. So you guys will definitely see how that kind of ties into the whole of next patch.
Oh yeah, I
So
mean Dainsleif is actually making another appearance.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I mean, how was he transported into the chasm? Like from the last appearance he had, he was like chasing after our sister. So did it mean that when the sister and the Abyss Herald entered the portal, they might have been transferred to a different place? Or maybe it's just like Dainsleif talked about Lumine and everything else and just said, oh, I was just chasing after Lumine because I was feeling emotional, because I miss her. Yeah, that's the only thing I could say about that. I
I
mean,
don't
it
know,
might be
man.
all.
I think he just took
I
a
mean,
waypoint.
he took a teleport waypoint into the chasm, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to find out soon when the new patch drops.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, definitely. And it's funny you mentioned Dragonspine earlier because I know it's as one of the Skyfrost nails, but I want to talk about a specific character, one of the key people that you meet when you're first introduced to Dragonspine, which is Albedo.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up with that. So, he when we're introduced to him, he's sort of this. We know him as the Full Metal Alchemist, or the alchemist of
Character.
sorts. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That kind of makes stuff, and then you have Sucrose that comes in as the disciple. You come into this massive. So actually, the first thing I wanted to kind of mention, because you did tell me this before when we had our previous conversation, was that Dragonspine, along with all the current in-game representations of cities, they're not to scale. Is that right?
Yup, they're not to scale. because of course we all know Genshin is also tied into in the mobile. Genshin is a mobile game too, right? So they wanted to like scale down these nations into a certain way, so that the mobile players would be also in. Well, they will not also lag. But what I'm also saying is that because in the manga, the city of Mondstadt is actually a huge place. The buildings are like tall, the walls are so deep, and and everything just seems so scaled down in game. Now in Dragonspine though, lore-wise, it is supposed to be like a huge mountain. It's kind of like Mount Everest. If I think about it, it might be just as tall as that, but they had to scale it down. So all information that probably or all the places there are not basically added in game. However, in the or in lore, everything is added there. There's no cuts. It's just saying that Mihoyo wanted to scale it down, so they wanted to remove certain details or certain places to Dragonspine so that it would scale down into the perfect size that they want to.
Yeah, for sure. So it's when you first enter in Albedo's, quote unquote lab, it's not like he's poor or anything. It's just a scaled down lab. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be huge, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a huge lab. But yeah, it was like scaled down to like a campsite.
Which is definitely not what we have in mind. So no, Albedo is a bit more of a respectable figure than to have a couple of bookshelves, an
Yep.
alchemy table, and a little fire going on. So what I wanted to ask about was going back to kind of Albedo and how we're introduced. In your own opinion, right? What is alchemy? According to Tevat's laws, what is your understanding of how it works?
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So what I think alchemy is it is like a creation of life, a creation that the creator can create a lot of things just using the power of alchemy. I mean, we can see this when in the crafting bench, we can create like certain items from scratch or upgrade certain books and enemy items and such, or we can even create potions from just ingredients. So basically, what I'm saying is that alchemy is an important thing to have because it has so much so much possibilities that you can create. I mean, based on Albedo's expertise, using the power of alchemy, Albedo can create uh, living beings just by drawing them, right?
Absolutely. I think we had a cool conversation about this, right? It's kind of like why does he draw? Like why bother, right? If he's all about alchemy, and I think we kind of like agreed. It's like, oh, it's part of the the creation process. Visualizing
Yeah.
exactly what you want to make, or and kind of understanding the key components. So arguably, the best alchemists might be the best artists. Who knows?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Albedo likes to really draw. I mean, he's an artist. So what I'm thinking is that that is how like he creates perfect beings. He likes to draw because he wants to outline their body first, add clothes, add different variations, which type of hair they would have, which type of eyes would they have, or which type of unique variation that he can add to it. I mean, we can see this from Albedo's character teaser, where he creates a living being from scratch. So the first one he created was a crystal fly. He said that he added wings, he added a different color to it, and then he sort of brought it out to life. He's like, what did Albedo say again? It's like, uh, I'm actually like reading chat, and someone said, "Now exist, bitch."
Yeah, pretty much. That's how alchemy works. Doesn't work like that in real life, unfortunately. Well,
Yep.
or fortunately, depending on who you ask. But yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty much it. Like you go to a crafting table and you're like, now do your thing, and the crafting table
Yeah.
goes, okay.
So yeah, I mean, after that, Albedo wanted to like rush a sketch of a Geo Bishop. He said, I would add the leg or the legs, the head, the arms into and the whole body, but I probably would skip the tail because it would self what do we call that? Is like self-made. It would self-made it. But when Albedo summoned it, it's actually like incomplete. I mean, you can see it in chat. It's like an incomplete drawing of a sketch of a Geo Bishop, which is honestly a really cool power to have. Like you can draw these special beings, add some cool, sick outfits to them, and just bring them out to life. It's really a cool power to have. Alchemy. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so now that we're kind of on the topic of creation, we're kind of reminded that Albedo himself was created. He's the term is homunculus. So who
Oh
is his
yeah.
creator?
So I mean, from the events, the snowstorm, shadows amid snowstorms, and I think it was 2.3. In 2.3, it was actually revealed that Albedo's creator is Rhine Daughter or Gold. Now, who this person is really interesting, because if we look into the lore of Genshin, Rhine Daughter or Gold is the one who basically started the cataclysm and the one who wreaked havoc across the Vats. So it's basically interesting that he or she created these absolutely dangerous monsters that could corrupt and destroy every living being or every living thing in Tevats. Which is basically an interesting way to put it that alchemy is a powerful weapon to have if you hone it to perfection. Uh oh god, I'm starting to sound like Albedo. Someone said in chat.
Well, maybe you are. Maybe that's why you know
Maybe.
so much. You know too much. Please don't destroy Monstat. I beg of you.
Oh yeah, pretty. Oh wait, how does he talk? Yes, I will not. No, that's not how you talk. That's not how you speak like Albedo. Sorry, I can't speak like Albedo, but yeah.
Next podcast, maybe. Next
Next
podcast.
podcast, maybe.
For sure. Sorry, you were saying?
But I was saying, oh yeah. So alchemy is a strong weapon to have if you hone it to perfection. So this Rhine daughter or Gold was actually a researcher in Conria. She's actually one of the people studying and how to create life. So basically, that's saying us is that he or she wanted to create a perfect being. That's when she probably made or she probably established the primordial human project, which is a kind of like a facility into creating perfect human beings. And from that, it's basically saying to us that Gold um, wanted to use or he or she or he or her's alchemy to create life, to create a perfect image of probably herself. I think there's a theory that Rhine Daughter or Gold is based on Albedo because he or she wanted to like create Albedo from he or she's own looks, right? I mean, yeah, that's a good theory, but maybe, probably. But yeah, after that, the creator of Albedo actually oh wait, sorry, lost for words. Let me take another sip of coffee. Thank you.
No worries. Everybody take your sip of coffee right now.
Yeah, let's cheers, guys.
Yeah, this is a drink along podcast. If you guys didn't know, you're supposed to drink whenever he drinks. Coffee, that is.
Coffee, yeah, coffee. Coffee is recommendable.
But yeah, sorry, you're saying about the
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no
Okay,
worries. Cheers.
cheers. Okay, so where did we last left off? Okay, so Rhine daughter or Golds. After that, when she was studying this, where she was creating this human projects, she actually started to create some interesting interesting living beings. The creation of Rhine daughter is actually one of the wolfhounds that you can find in both Tsurumi Island. Was it? Yeah, Tsurumi Island and Mondstadt in Wolvendom. So that is one of her creations, uh, or one of her failed creations to create a perfect human being. Now, after which she actually like created a whole lot of different types of failed creations or failed living beings that started the cataclysm where they wreaked havoc across the seven nations. That is where the 500 years ago war happened. It's basically Rhine daughter, the mastermind behind all of this, started to, or wait, no, it probably might have happened accidentally. Like she unleashed these monsters upon the world, and is probably she probably meant it to be she wait she probably meant she probably accidentally did it is what I'm thinking, because I don't know if she's actually an evil person. I mean, we don't know from lack of information if she really is or he or she is a really good person. And it's interesting to see that her first perfect creation is actually just Albedo, because yeah, well, yeah, mother, yeah, okay, so Rhine daughter is she, right? Is a she.
I guess so. Unless.
Okay, okay. Unless unless she's a or he or she is a man. Is a man like Albedo. But moving
Just
on
man,
on
just said, yeah, just call me mother. Oh, okay, mother. You know, that's how I'm
yeah.
gonna raise my kid. Call me mother.
I mean it's I mean if gold is playable, I would
Oh, we'll see.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, but sorry,
We'll see
going
though.
on, moving on.
Moving on, um, her first perfect human creation is Albedo. Now, how she created Albedo though is kind of interesting, because from the Shadows Amid Snowstorm events, Albedo mentioned to us that how he was created is related to glassmaking, which I find it really hard to understand, because Albedo just lore dumped us with the basically the complicated step of glassmaking. But let me see from my notes here. Glassmaking. Let me see. It's
Pretty much
basically
like,
just.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You first.
I was just gonna say it's pretty much like every glassmaking video you see on YouTube when you're bored. It looks complicated, actually. And I suppose it's a pretty delicate and very time critical process.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
sorry, you
okay.
were saying?
It's not glass making. It's I mean, yeah, it's also glass production, but it's called glass blowing for Albedo, which
Mm-hmm.
is interesting because the mark on his neck, or in his neck, symbolizes the creator's creators, I would say, how do I simplify this word? Watermark into it, watermark of his brand, I guess. Rhine brands on Albedo's neck is probably what I would call it, maybe. Yeah,
Ah,
copyright
gotcha.
mark.
They didn't unlock the full premium version. They're using the trial.
Yeah. Yep. That's basically a simpler way to
Yeah.
say it.
Gotcha,
But yeah.
gotcha. I see. So, speaking of the mark, can we kind of quickly go over kind of exactly what happened in the latest Albedo story? Because I think that a lot of people played the story, but they didn't really understand the whole three Albedos conundrum. So, could you walk us through like kind of what happened and you know what it came down to in the end?
Okay. So I'm going to summarize the events quickly, but probably might be understandable for you guys. The traveler went into. Oh God, I also actually forgot the start of the events, but yeah. Let's move on. Okay, so the traveler went into Dragonspine to find. No, that's not the first. Sorry about that. Let's start over. So the traveler went into Monstat to find Albedo, Sucrose, and Zemeus. Now, Albedo seemed sus here, which it means that he was walking unusually. His thoughts are silent. It's not like the original Albedo. So the traveler suspected it. To why is that the problem? I mean, why is Albedo acting sus, right? So the traveler in Paimon decided to head into Dragonspine to find him. And they went in there and they saw Albedo with the mark. So what I can explain here is that the real Albedo, that is the main creation or the perfect being, has the mark on, has the golden star shaped uh, shaped mark on his neck. So after that, we talk to Albedo and head on down to what's let me see. Let me think real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. It was quite a complicated story, as I imagine. I think they kind of summarized it up in a parable at the end, but you know even that escaped me myself. So, it, you know, it's kind of like it's a riddle as much as it is a story, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's an interesting story. But how I explain it though is really hard because I keep forgetting the certain details that happened that are important to the plot. So I'm trying to
Oh yeah.
remember it clearly.
Yeah, no worries about it. Essentially, I think the idea is kind of like there were maybe two Albedos, right? Suddenly, you know, that kind of
Hmm.
appeared out of nowhere. Like suddenly, we were traveling with our friends, you know, Eula and everything of that sort, and then they suddenly figured out, wait a second, like Eula, I believe, was the one that was like, wait a second,
Oh
something
yeah,
is
yeah,
wrong here.
yeah. Eula was the one who first to notice, but the traveler has like doubts about a certain event that happened. Sorry.
Good old coffee. You know you had a good one when it
Yep.
tries to basically fight its way out of your system.
Yep. It's really good. But yeah. So what are we saying again?
So Eula picked up on it, and Traveler was like, "I don't know. you know, what's going on at the moment. You know, Albedo's a little weird, but you know, not much
Yeah.
at that point."
No. Okay. Okay. So then after that, the 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 fake albedo, the fake albedo actually decided to hatch a plan to separate the albedo, the real albedo, in with his group. So he decided to hatch up a plan to create a third imposter, which is the Whopper Albedo. Now, the Whopper Albedo, the Whopper Flower Albedo. The
Yeah,
Whopper
Whopper
Flower
Albedo.
Albedo, yeah, or the the Sus Beto, or the Fel Beto, yeah. We can call it names like, but I'll call it with his original name, the Whopper Flower Albedo, had the characteristics of the Whopper flower we see in game, which is to hide and attract its prey and eat them. That is the mentality that the Whopper flower albedo that the sus albedo created. Now, the sus albedo wanted to wait, no. Oh god, this is so interesting. Wait.
Yeah, no worries. It's definitely a whole thing. Imagine a creation creating their own creation.
Okay. So the plan was going into the right direction when the sus albedo actually succeeded in separating the group from albedo. So after that, there was this avalanche that happened, and it separated them. And when they uh, decided to find where the location where albedo the real albedo is, they suddenly found this really weird albedo, which is the Whopper flower albedo, because we can see in game that he has no mark. He has no mark on his neck. So the travelers seemed sus about this and decided to follow along the plans of whatever this Whopper flower will do to them. So this Whopper flower led them into this arena, I should say, or a large place where they could where he could lure them in and possibly eat them. But before the plan, or before he would do that, the travelers sensed that this is not the real albedo. And when the Whopper flower albedo decided to backstab the or kill them, the travelers sensed this and decided to fight back. But the group followed in, and they decided to attack this Whopper flower albedo until the real albedo arrives and stabs the Whopper flower in possibly the heart, and then the Whopper flower then uh, evolves into this large ice Whopper flower. I'm sorry if I am really I'm really repeating words here, like I'm always saying
You're good,
Whopper
man.
flower.
Because it
But yeah,
is what it is. It's a Whopper flower. I don't know what else you
it's
can
a,
call it.
I mean, yeah, it's a flower that is Whopper, but yeah.
Yeah, the big Whopper.
So after that, we fight it. The traveler and Albedo and his group wins. They decided to talk about what this Whopper flower's intention is. Now, the real Albedo decided to keep some interesting details. Decided to uh, lie about a certain motive of what the Whopper flower albedo wanted. So he said to them that, oh, it's probably just the natural causes of Dragonspine, which is to mutate Whopper flowers into a huge thing that can mimic a human being. So that's what his explanation is, but it's not actually the truth. When the group, or when Eula, Bennett, Amber were now on. Wait. Oh god. The WAP. Yeah. Okay. So when the group already said their goodbyes, the Albedo actually wanted to talk to us in his lab. And here, Albedo revealed to us that the reason behind the creation of the Whopper flower Albedo is because the failure, or the sus albedo, decided to, or not decided, had just woke up from his slumber in Durin's belly. now explaining how how the sus albedo went into, well, Durin's belly, is that Rhine daughter, or Gold, when he or she created albedo, or the first albedo, she decided that it was a failure. So she decided to make Durin eat this failed experiment because it didn't align in her plans of a perfect human being. But after that, Ryan's daughter didn't expect. Oh wait, no, Ryan's daughter didn't know that her failed creation actually survived, and it was thanks to, I think it was thanks to Durin's blood when he died in Dragonspine, and the ley line, the ley line, the ley line abnormality that happened in Dragonspine. I think that's what happened, right? Oh wait, I'm just confirming if my understanding is correct. Is that right?
I think it makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Chat just confirmed we're correct. Must be true.
Okay. It must be true. 90% sure. It's not 100, but it might be. Might be. But yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
essentially, that's how we got to 3 albedos, really.
Yeah. But
Cool,
basically,
cool.
yeah. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. So in chat it said yes. Durin's blood caused a reaction and revived Sus Beto somehow. Okay, so I'm 90% correct. If that might be true, I don't know.
Good enough for me. If I ever
Good enough
got
for me. Yeah.
anything, if I ever got anything like 90 and above, back in my day, it would be a miracle. So
Yep.
right now, what's happening is nothing short of a miracle in my eyes, which is great. So now we kind of have a nice summary about how the 3 albedos came to be, you know, and kind of how they, you know, now you have a frame of reference as to it, and I think everyone can kind of figure out on their own, you know, what the story is. So, lastly, I wanted to ask you this before we move on to our final topic.
Oh, okay.
We know that you know, Venti was a wisp, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a wisp of the wind. Therefore, you know, God Archon of you know, Anemo makes sense.
Yep.
In your personal opinion, why do you think Albedo has a geovision? I think we talked about this before, but I
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
see if you had a good response.
I mean, you did give a interesting theory, right? Into why he
Yeah.
has a geovision.
Do you have another theory about that, or should I just
I
go ahead
mean,
and
you, I mean, yours is a more logical reason. It's like it might also be true, like that why his vision is geo. So I'm like kind of pointing out that maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I don't know. Help me out here, chat. So I think one of the reasons why Albedo has a resonance with Geo, and it's funny that someone did bring up a biblical reference because the essentially in the Bible they said man was made from the dust, right? So the
Yes.
whole creation story within itself has a large attachment to the earth, or Geo for that matter, you know. And you know, when in my mind, when you know, Gold said that it was, or Albedo said it's kind of like glass blowing. It's like, yeah, but what makes glass? Sand,
Yeah,
Geo,
yeah.
right?
Geo.
So that's why. So that's, in my opinion, that's kind of why. You know, it did. So yes, man is made in the image of God, but the first man, Adam, was made from dust. That's the I believe that's
Oh,
the yes, that's the biblical explanation of it, which is quite
okay,
interesting.
okay.
So I think that I'd like to think, anyways, that that this is where it the story as to why it's Geo. You know, else I got no other theories about that. I hope it makes sense. By the way, that's
Yeah,
because
it
like
makes sense because I mean, Albedo really said that from his character trailers that uh, he mentioned Earth and chalk, which Earth means, you know, Geo, and how wait. It's been a long. It's been a long time since I've Albedo. Let me research what Albedo said in his trailer. Real quick.
Yeah, no worries. There's a lot going on in this, and funnily enough, I was while Clem's researching this, I was telling Clem, "Can you really do 3 hours?" And funnily enough, as Clem will testify later, we actually had to skip over a lot of good topics because there's just so much in this game. There's just so much.
Yeah, we wanted to extend it, but I really can't handle like 3 hours of 3 or 4 hours of lore discussing things because there's like really a lot of things to talk about in games in Genshin's lore. I mean, we also have Enkonomiya, we have the upcoming region which is Chasm, we even have the artifact sets, the bosses, and even the events that were more important to the main plot of the game. So it's really hard it's really hard for us to explain it in full detail for you guys. So
For sure, for
I
sure.
mean, if you guys want to, we can probably do a part 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let us know, guys, if you want a part 2. Or you know what? You could go to his YouTube channel, and he'll explain it
yeah.
all to you. Which you can find at www.youtube.com/KlemenTime.
It's KlemenTime. Yeah.
It's KlemenTime.
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, Actually, I forgot. I don't know what's our our title there, but yeah. So, going back to what I was saying, so Albedo said in his trailer is the universe, the sable essence of the starry void, Earth, the accumulative memory of time and being, soil, the origin of alchemy, the basis of all life, and in the last, chalk, the substance from which primal life is molded. He said that. So it's basically saying that. Oh, wait! Did I try to say? Did I try to sound like Albedo? Sorry.
You don't need to try. You just do it. That's just you. You're Albedo now. So
yeah.
you're not Clem. You're Albedo. You're the fourth one.
You change. I change.
You're Chad Bedo.
Profile pic to Albedo, but yeah.
Yeah. You're even better than the original. You're the Chad Bedo. No. We got Sus Bedo. Now we have Chad Bedo.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, that makes me happy because like I literally no brain all this stuff, and then I come and go like, oh, I think it's a Genesis reference, and then we figure it out together and like, oh yeah, it might be.
It might be because, I mean, wait, oh yeah, I mean, Albedo said here too is Earth, the accumulative memory of time and being. It also the thing that Albedo is mentioning here might also be about the ley lines of how they collect the memories of time. So it also might. He also probably might alchemy. Wait, sorry. This is just like a. It's just like a theory that just crossed my mind recently. So it's kind of hard to explain it, but it also might be that in alchemy you would also need the essence of Earth, which is the memory of time and being, which might be also be a reference to the ley lines of how they collect the history of Teyvat, or how they project these things into the world. But also you also need soil, which is also geo. So it is Albedo said that this is the origin of alchemy, the basis of all life. So meaning that you need earth, which is the ley lines, the soil, which is probably related to his geovision, and chalk. Now, chalk is an interesting thing that he mentioned, which is chalk, the substance from which primal life is molded. So it might be So my personal thought on the meaning of chalk is that it is where the user can create or mold these things or change its its physical traits into one another. Because from the crafting table, you can actually change or upgrade certain character items. Oh wait, no character items, dropped items into more advanced ones, or make it more better. So that's my personal thoughts on chalk, as it is the user's ability um, to add a few details into its creation, or add a or change its body, or its physical appearance. So that's my personal theory. Might be stretched, but I don't know.
You know, when the title of the story that you get Albedo, which is like the Chalk Prince or something, I believe it was that, right?
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah. His
yeah,
main title is the Chalk Prince, the Crichton Prince,
yeah, for
which if
sure.
which if I
Sorry, go ahead.
search the which I if I search the meaning of Crichton Prince, uh, wait, what was the meaning of Crichton Prince?
Is it literally just Chalk Prince?
Yeah, it's Chalk Prince in German.
That's well, it
I'm-
is Monstat.
yeah, it is Monstat, but I read about this a while back that oh wait, no, that's wait, okay, I just remembered it. Let me search his wait, let me sorry if I'm researching it on the spot, because I honestly I honestly had this in mind before. Wait.
Oh yeah, no worries. Like you can't be expected to know every single aspect and every little detail
Yeah.
of the story. I think nobody does. You know, maybe except the people that write the story.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good. By the way, we are running short of time, so I think we may have to kind of end it on Albedo if that's okay with you. Which means there might be
Oh.
a part 2 if you guys
Oh,
like it.
part two. Okay, that it is possible. It's possible. I mean, we would want to like discuss more in part two if you guys want it.
Well, let us know,
I
audience.
mean,
Let us know.
we can also invite Truffles here to help us discuss in part two. I mean,
Yeah, what do you?
Truffles here
For
is
sure.
really knowledgeable about lore than me, because he researches a lot of things, the references and everything, and it might be interesting to have him on the show if you guys want part two.
You know who you remind me of? You two remind me of Phineas and Ferb. You ever thought about that? Like the
uh,
cartoon?
oh
I don't
yeah,
know if
yeah.
you. Yeah,
Like
with the
I'm,
platypus.
like I'm, yeah, like I'm Ferb and and the Truffles is Phineas, right? Is that what
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it
yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah. It's such a cool dynamic that you two have going on.
It's
Um,
uh, it's also like me and Truffles are like Makoto and A, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. God forbid one of you goes to the Archon War and does the thing.
and yeah, and I'm like Makoto, and Truffles is A. My what's that? Kagemusha. Kagemusha.
Yeah.
Oh
So did
shit.
you find?
Oh
Were you able to
oh
find
yeah.
what you wanted to look for in regards
Yeah.
to
So
Albedo?
in the title of Albedo's OST, it is called Genius of Takwin. Now, if we search the meaning of Takwin, it is a creation of synthetic life. So yeah,
Hmm.
Beto is a genius of Takwin, meaning he is a genius in creating synthetic life, or beings that were not made naturally but made by humans. So that's an interesting title that Albedo has.
Yeah, hats off to Mihoyo. They really did their research
Yeah, they
on
really
on,
did.
on everything. Awesome, awesome. So, any final thoughts about Albedo in regards to this before we move on to the next section?
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, Albedo is super sus. We might not know soon if he would actually destroy Mondstadt and possibly create another cataclysm like how his creator did, you know? But I mean, Albedo wouldn't do that, right?
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 Who knows?
And
Play
then,
the
and then,
game.
yeah, and then next year later, his second character's story quest comes out, and he manages to destroy Mondstadt. Oh god, that's gonna be a one hell of a story quest.
I still think it's going to be Klee that destroys Monstat, if you
Oh
ask me.
yeah, yeah, right. I
But
mean, with her bombs and her nuclear
yeah,
explosions and everything.
yeah. It's like I've built the bomb, and you're like, oh, that's cute. Why don't you just go and blow it up in your usual, lake, and then boom, Mondstadt's gone.
Yep.
But so now we're gonna open this section to a bit of a Q&A. Now, this comes in two parts. If you participated in our Twitter Q&A where you used our hashtag, we got your questions, and and now we're going to be reading them out for Clem to answer. There's quite a bit, and I think we'll have time for some Q&A within the chat as well. So, Clem, I'm going to take out a document full of other people's questions that they have for you.
Oh,
Would
okay.
you mind answering some of the questions that are in here?
Oh, sure, sure. I
Awesome,
mean, it's
awesome.
okay.
So this one person's called Fatsy Watsy. They go, "Hello, Clem. Been a fan of your videos and I admire them greatly to bits. My question is, what is your overall opinion on the Inazuma region and its lore up to its finest lore bits, world quests, and the Archon quest? Did it really live up to be the region as it's portrayed?" Ooh, that's quite a hefty question, huh?
Oh, that's but yeah, thank you for being a fan, and it's really awesome that you love our videos. You love the content that we make in YouTube. But to answer your question, Inazuma is Inazuma's lore is how can I put it? It's good. Yeah. It's a good, a fantastic the stories are amazing. The world building in Inazuma is definitely top notch compared to the other regions in game. And okay, to world quests and Archon quests. Okay, yep. The Archon quests, the last part of the Archon quests, they would have the I mean the Archon quests in Inazuma are okay, I guess. I mean for the first two, it's good, but the last part failed to deliver. Oh,
Hmm.
so did it really live up to be a region as it's portrayed as? I mean, they could have gone they alright. Uh there's a lot of things they might have added in Inazuma, like it would be a battlegrounds, a war, a civil war. I mean, if they delved deep into that topic of two powers like fighting over each other, I would say I guess it did live up to its expectations, but they could have gone into more detail on what happened on the storyline, on the story quests, and it might and they also could have stretched it into more story chapters in the game.
Okay. That's a definitely a great answer. Thank you for that. So next question we have here is from oh god, T- Tirasumi. I hope I pronounced that right. Uh, well, Tirasumi asks, which character's lore is the most interesting slash sad? Also, happy birthday, Clem.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the greetings. So which character's lore is the most interesting? Sad. Uh, wait, let me think real quick. Let me see.
Yeah, no worries at all. If you, I know nobody asked, but if you ask me, I think the most interesting story or character with the most interesting story, in my opinion, is probably it's probably Alice, and the reason why is because there's not a lot I know about Alice personally, and she seems like she wrote the Adventurer's Guidebook or something like that, and she seems like this key figure that just keeps looming over anywhere. On top of that, she created the monstrosity known as Klee, so
I mean, yeah.
I'm interested in knowing what she handles. But yeah, what about you, Clem?
I mean, character with the most interesting lore is, yeah, I would also probably go with Albedo. I mean, Albedo is a interesting figure because he was related to the person who like caused the cataclysm. So it's an interesting thing to talk about in the future if his if Mihoyo decides to go into full detail into what really will happen in the future, right?
For sure, definitely. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. All right. So now we have a question from Sea Werewolf 3. Says, "Hi Clem, your theories are pretty cool and I like your edit styles. What do you think about Diluc and Kaya's relationship and how do you think it'll develop?" Oh god, is it one of those questions?
Oh wait.
I think they're talking about their working relationship, if I'm not mistaken, because he kind of when we first play the quest, Kaya's like, he's the cavalry knight, and Diluc just kind of barges in and goes like, "You suck," and, thrashes the Abyss Mage. So I guess they kind of have this sort of, rival kind of relationship, and we know that Diluc is the what was it, the ex Grandmaster, if I'm not mistaken. So do you think like
he
they'll
wasn't
still be?
the ex. He wasn't
Oh, he wasn't.
the ex Grandmaster. It was like he was a knight in the Knights of Favonius.
I was just a knight. Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Jane keeps calling him senpai, so I'm like, I don't know. Was he? But
So
yeah, what do you think?
um, I mean, in future versions, they might develop it into like forgiving each other's mistakes that they've done. I mean, from the Genshin Impact manga, I mean, it's really said there that when Diluc's father died, when their father died, Kaya, after that, Kaya revealed himself as a spy in Conria.
Ooh, interesting. So how do you think this would kind of like, affect the relationship? Like, did it matter to Kaya, you think, or was there something about that?
I mean, he did treat Diluc treated Kaya as his little brother, or yeah, his little
Mm.
brother. But I guess they would work things out, right? I mean, Diluc might understand soon enough, but yeah,
Okay, so it's kind of like the little brother, like the brother relationship in a sense, which is which is a pretty fun thing. So I guess they'll just continue being like siblings till the very end. You think?
yeah. Oh, okay. So chat said that Kaya told Diluc at the moment, hoping Diluc would kill him or something, but then Kaya got his vision. So yeah, Diluc meant to actually kill Kaya because of what Kaya said.
Hmm.
But
Wow.
yeah, Kaya said.
Yeah, that sounds like a typical sibling relationship. Makes sense.
Oh yeah,
That's funny.
so the question here is, so who won? I think nobody won. Nobody won, right? Like when Kaya received his vision, the two had a stalemate, and they would like part ways, and they wouldn't, and their relationship is ruined, right?
I have no idea. Chat, you figure this one
Chat.
out. I'm gonna ask the next question if that's okay with you guys. So this next question comes from Fourth, and Fourth asked 10 questions. I
Oh
don't
God.
think we have time for all of them. But I will pick one of them. I apologize if I don't pick the most interesting one or the one you want. But I'm gonna ask you this question, Clem, because it's touching on something that we wanted to talk about. Any speculations for Fadwe
Harbingers. I mean harbingers with the S, but
Har-
harbinger.
Harbingers, yeah. Any speculations on your end? I think you do.
Oh, okay. So we talked about this, right?
Mm-hmm. For
About
sure.
how certain harbingers on who is going to be playable or not. So it's an
Mm-hmm.
interesting topic to mention, but we actually did make a video about that. It's in our YouTube channel if you want to listen in and how we delve deep into the connections of the harbingers with the Commedia dell'arte. But wait, okay. What was the question again? Sorry.
His answer is paywalled. Go watch the video. That's basically what that means.
Wait.
So what
um,
about anything? I suppose. What's your speculation about the? I guess I suppose what comes next for the harbingers. Like what's one little detail that you're kind of expecting?
oh, I'm kind of expecting them to like well, when the traveler arrives at Snezhnaya, I'm kind of expecting them to like reveal themselves at what actually their plan is to like how will they rebel against Celestia? Like Celestia is a really powerful entity itself because the gods in there, or well, one of the gods is yeah the gods, the sustainer of the heavenly principles, right? Is one of the gods in Celestia. So it's kind of interesting how the Harbingers, how the Saritsa will use the power of the Gnosis to actually stand a chance against them. That's my own personal, personal thing that I would say.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. So our next question is from Illusion. Hello, Clem. 4 questions. Amazing. You guys are
Okay.
doing great things, but I can only pick one. It's a time thing. I apologize to the author of these questions. I can only pick one, and I'm gonna pick. Is there anyone you're currently saving up primos for at the moment?
Oh my
I
god.
yeah.
Well, I am currently saving for Ayato. Ayato is an interesting
Ooh.
character because, you know, he's an husbando and his Ayaka's big brother, and Ayato is just really hot. Sorry,
He's
that's
got the
my
boba.
yep. He's got the boba. Like I enjoy milk. Yeah, milk tea is what we call it in here. But yeah, if he enjoys boba, yeah, that's my personal favorite character because I really love milk tea or boba.
For sure. So there you go. You Ayato simps. I hope you're happy now. All right.
I mean,
So
also,
yeah, go ahead.
Ayato's skill set is also really good because he acts like he acts like a certain character. And for those who played Devil May Cry, he has like this skill sets of this. What was his character? Virgil, right? Yeah, he likes to have this katana slashes that I really enjoyed. Yeah, yeah, and his ult is amazing too. It's beautiful. He's elegant and he's beautiful. That's all I can say.
Oh, oh, okay. Well then, yeah, that's definitely a thing. I'm contemplating rolling for Ayato because I happen to have two jade cutters and I don't know what to do with them. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good weapon for him.
well, I was kind
Like
of
Shade
rolling
Cutter,
for Yai's
I,
weapon, so I was really mad.
wait, what was the? Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it was Yai's banner before, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Like I lost a lot of 50/50s in the in the weapon banner because it's so bad.
Oh yeah, we lose good money along the way, but
Yeah.
such are the facts of life. We have a question from Esperance. Hello, Clem. Please excuse the morbid curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
But from looking at the game lore, who are the characters with the biggest death flags and why? How, when, in what context, for what reason, etc., would you expect the writers to kill them? So basically, who do you think's gonna die next, and why?
I mean, you saw the Harbingers, right? I mean, La Signora just basically has been obliterated by the Raiden Shogun. So I'm also expecting some Harbingers to die in the storyline.
Oh,
But
you
the main
any?
thing that Mihoyo might kill off, or wait, Hoyoverse might kill off is Child, the 11th Harbinger. I mean, Child in his story quest is so wholesome, but it also raises a lot of death flags about him. I mean, he's also one of my favorite characters in terms of gameplay, right? But the fact that if he betrays the Fatui and like joins us in our travels, and like he gets killed by the other Harbingers is gonna be really, it's gonna be a tragic ending for his character arc. I mean, he is from the Abyss. I mean, no, I mean he did go to the Abyss and came back, right? He also might play like an important role to the Travelers soon enough. But yeah, child, please don't die.
He's gonna die just because you
Oh
said.
God, oh God.
Duck
I
asks.
mean, oh wait.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Uh, I also have another death flag for a character,
Oh no.
which is Shao. Shao.
Oh.
Shao is one of the last what was his the Yaksha. He's one of the last Yaksha, and explained in his collected miscellany is that Shao wages unending battles against this deceased gods. So what if Shao's karmic depth literally overtakes him, and like we have to fight him in the future because he's like corrupted by these evil gods and spirits. So the only way to cleanse him is to literally kill him. I
Hmm.
mean, Shao is. I really like his Japanese VA because if you guys know him, is one of my favorite characters in terms of
Don't tell
his
me it's Sword Art
story.
Online.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
It's Sword Art Online, guys. He is
But I
Kirito.
don't know.
But the thing is, Kirito never dies, so I don't think so.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I hope so. Like, I hope he doesn't die. But it
You know
might
what?
be a.
Yeah.
It
Who
might be a
knows,
good.
man?
I mean, who knows? Who knows? Oh
Die
yeah,
for the
someone in
plot.
chat said, and he is a harbinger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sure, why not?
yeah, the Electro Yaksha. I forgot to mention he's still well. I mean, let me explain this. So, Zhongli, the Geo Archon, um, founded the Yakshas, which are the five supernatural beings or the elemental beings that basically helps maintain peace in Liyue, which are defeating this deceased god's karmic or everything. But then every one of them died except Shao and what was his name again? The Electro Yaksha, I would just say, because there's no mentions of his name. But the Electro Yaksha was actually corrupted and became a bad guy. We can actually, oh yeah, it says, or succumb to the darkness from reading from chat. Oh, is he Busashis? No.
Maybe.
Uh,
We don't know.
we don't know, but I mean, he was rumored to disappear into the chasm, right? He was right rumored
Guess we might find him
because
there.
in his artifact, because there's an artifact set for a yaksha which has the same the same items that this Electro Yaksha has, and it also ties in with Xiao's artifact set, because that artifact set is meant for him, right?
Definitely. That's quite interesting. So, you know who I think's gonna die?
Who?
Albedo.
Oh god. Not
Exact
him
same
too,
reason.
but not him too.
Exact
I
same
mean,
reason.
oh god, yeah, same reason is gonna wreak havoc across Tivat.
Yeah. And the day that happens, I'm gonna I'm gonna be Klee. Klee's gonna put him out of his misery.
I mean, back before the release of 2.1, when I watched the trailer, I thought that Kazuha might die.
Yeah.
Like he was holding on his own like a slash, and he was like screaming and grunting. It almost as if he's like going to be obliterated, um, which is really fearful for me on that time. But whew, I'm glad that he didn't die.
Yeah, he can't die yet. I want to roll for him.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
dies before I'm able to roll for him, then that's not good for my gameplay at all. My game experience. All right,
Yeah, I mean,
so
Kazuo is a great character to have, and I'm really
for
sad
sure.
that he didn't Mihoyo didn't include them in the 2.6 update, because I was actually planning to roll on both Ayato and Kazuha. But I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing because we have some time to save up some primos if
Yes.
you either want to get him because you are in a 50-50, or because you want to get some of his constellations. But yeah.
For
Kazuha,
sure.
where?
Where? Not now. That's all we know. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next question from Twitter. By
Okay.
this is from Duck. So, Zhongli tells us he's no longer the Geo Archon, but Celestia hasn't made a move on replacing him. Do you believe he really has, quote unquote, retired from this role?
Hmm. That's an interesting question to talk about.
I have an
I
answer, by the way,
mean,
but you
oh,
go ahead first.
okay. I mean, for me though, it probably might be because Zhongli hasn't Zhongli hasn't passed away yet, I guess. Because if we look into the of how the Archons were replaced is that either by they died, and it might be so that, of course, when Makoto in Inazuma, when Makoto died, A was the one who assumed her position, not any other elemental being or that who has that power. But yeah, it might be, if Celestia wants to replace them, they have to be either dead or deceased. Uh, That's my own personal theory.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's been the same way in regards to that, as far as we know, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh wait, I'm actually. Do you believe he really has retired from his role? X Exo Lost said this. Nope. Zhongli still has much, or not that much, but a part to play in the story. I mean, he is going to, well, he might interfere soon enough if a great catastrophe might happen in Liyue. I don't know.
So
He might
essentially,
interfere.
he's in a lower role now, but he kind of still keeps tabs on everybody.
Yeah, just like Venti, you know.
Gotcha, gotcha. Want to know what my theory is?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Easy. It's because he lost his cell phone, his Gnosis. Celestia can't contact him at all. Why? Like, why would? It's like, oh, it's not picking up. I guess. Guess he's business as usual. You know, why would Celestia ever question anything? It's just a bunch
I
of missed
mean,
calls.
yeah, your theory's more more nice than mine, I guess. I mean, it
No,
is
it's not.
plausible, right? Like he lost his cell phone. He might have the Harbingers like stole his cell phone, so whatever Celestia would have called, they probably have lost contact to like Zhongli, and he couldn't find his phone.
Yeah, pretty much. Easy. Can't
That's
get a new one.
God. Yeah, he can't get a new one because he's retired. Or wait, he's poor. He can't afford another.
Oh, man. So this next question is from Tori. Hello, Clem. Here is my obligatory Fadoi question. Which Harbinger, current or future, are you most excited about and why?
I I mean, we all know the answer to that. My personal harbinger that I'm most excited about is Scaramouche.
Ah, got him.
I mean, of course, Scaramouche is like the character that hasn't been released, but people still contemplate about will he be playable or not, or will he die like Signora? And I'm with the Scaramouche nation. Like, I want him to be playable because he's just an interesting character. I mean, he rebelled. He's the first character to like rebel against the Tsaritsa. I mean, the Harbinger, right? He's the first Harbinger to like rebel against the Tsaritsa. So it's interesting, and I think he might play a larger role because of what happened. I'm reading chat. Lelemon said that Clem, blink twice if Frass has your family hostage.
Scaramouche does.
Nothing. I mean, I don't know. I'm just stating the facts here.
There you go. Mic drop moment right there. So we're going to move on to our next question by Constantinos. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, by the way. They say, hello, what do you think of the main Archon story? Do you think it's too slow or just fine? I think they're referring to the latest one, I think. The A part 2, if I'm not mistaken. Or if you're in this chat, could you clarify for us? And also, do you think the main character should talk in the cutscenes, or is Paimon still okay?
Oh wait, I'm reading chat. Is it the main Archon story in Inazuma?
I suppose so, but if you're listening, Constantinos, the whole of Inazuma. There you go. That
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean, I basically said this. It's not too slow, or it's not fine. It's kinda rushed. If I think about it, because a lot of details could have been added if they really expanded more on the story, right? I mean, I would have loved to see like a Kujosara versus Goro battle. Like that would be two bow users fighting. That would be an awesome cutscene to have. Like,
Yeah, I think so, definitely, for sure. I was hoping that, and then Kokomi appears, and it's
oh
like the
yeah,
coming of Jesus or something. Literally walks on water. What can I say, right?
yeah, that's
So
true. Kokomi literally walks in water. I
yeah,
mean, it could have been better if that was her passive. Like, that would be honestly, people would roll for her if that was her passive, where she could walk in water like literally the whole time. That would be like a good thing to have.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, also the second question is, also, do you think the main character should talk in the cutscenes, or is Paimon still okay? Um, yes, definitely. The main character should always talk talk a lot, because I mean he is the MC, right? I mean Paimon is still okay, but sometimes I really want the traveler to say something, because he is the main character, like right? And I really love his VA, his English VA, which is really awesome. But yeah, I wish
Mm,
me I mean Zach Aguilar here is like saying, "Am I really the MC? Like I have so limited lines, and he only records like the grunts he uses, the elemental skill voice lines that he does. I mean, yeah, Windblade. That's what Aether always says. You know, Windblade. That's one of his skills. But yeah, the traveler should talk more. Like it's logical, right? I mean, you wouldn't want a person talking to you and you're saying stuff and he's just like silently ignoring you, silently just talking to you or staring at you in the face like, "Oh yeah, yeah." He's like just he's nodding, he's saying no, not nods no, nods yes, but yeah. They really should like add more voice lines in the game to where the traveler speaks more.
Also, Zach, if you're listening, buddy, let's talk. Get on this podcast. We'll talk all about it. I'll let you talk as much as you want.
Oh yeah, that would honestly be cool. Like if Zach came here in the podcast to like, and you would be interviewing him. Like, damn, that's gonna be cool. I
That
mean,
would be cool.
he is Tanjiro in Demon Slayer,
Yeah,
which
that's some
yeah,
cool stuff.
it's cool stuff to have. I mean, if he likes to discuss lore, that would be awesome.
The lore of Zach. That's what I would discuss.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right, so we have one last Twitter question, and then we're gonna open it up, to a bit of Q&A, but it's getting a little late, so we'll see where this goes. This is from
Oh,
MCat.
okay.
Hello, Clem. I'm curious, who is your favorite and least favorite open world NPC?
Favorite and least favorite? Okay, let me see. I mean, let me think.
That's a good
That's a
question.
good question. I mean, not gonna lie, during the Tsurumi world quests, it's a world quest, not voiced. I really like the character. Yeah, Rue. I really like the character Rue because his story is really tragic. I mean, imagine like being sacrificed by the tribe for hundreds and maybe hundreds of years only to like to fail the ceremony and just die, repeat over. And what's interesting here is that in the English translation of how Rue was sacrificed, they wanted to go with a more PG thing about into it. But in the Chinese one, or the Chinese the Chinese translation, it was actually very gory. Like they would like what was that? They would remove his spinal cord, I think, and just let his blood flow out and all of that. Like it's actually a blood ritual, and Rue would like repeat it for like 100 of years. That's really sorry. That's really gory. That's really gory. But yeah, that's really a tragic tale of my boy Rue. I mean, yeah. Yeah, someone said in the chat that the Chinese phrase separation of blood and bone actually means oh wait, no. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Um that's a bit of a translation mistake. Sorry. Sorry for everyone who had to listen to what I said. Anyways,
Now, I'm pretty sure the guy got his bones removed.
I mean, the kid got his. But please not. That's just way too gory for Genshin's lore.
Yeah, well,
But yeah,
if you guys know, let us know.
okay. Wait, what was the other? Oh,
Your
the
least favorite.
my least favorite. I mean, if you see this guy all the time in Monstat, and he was the. I mean, it's kind of logical. The Reckless Palette is one of my least favorite. Least favorite. NPCs because he's an adventurer and he always gets himself into troubles that the traveler always has to be there to save his ass, and it's honestly pretty annoying sometimes when the the random encounters pop up. It's like, help and save Reckless Palad. I would usually like just walk in the opposite direction and just continue on doing my dailies with him being threatened by Hilichurls. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he has to avenge Sucrose, right? Because from all the, I think, veteran in 1.1, Reckless Palad like when pushed Sucrose, and a lot of players became mad because of that. And yeah, there's a lot of Sims out there. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. You know who grinds my gears? The dude from
Oh,
the daily
uh,
quests. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
and I forgot. Uh, Hoyoverse actually tried to set up a redemption arc for the Reckless Palad in the Shadows Amid Snowstorm events. But that I didn't felt much of that redemption arc. It was never redeeming. Yeah.
Yeah, he just seemed like a bigger asshat. Not gonna lie, man. Just,
But yeah.
but yeah, but despite all that, my most number one hated NPC has to be the merchant that you do from the dailies, where you clear out the Hilichurls and he doesn't pay you jack, and he
Oh
goes,
yeah. Yeah, I received that. I always receive that quests in my Monstat commission, and I always pick the easiest one, the easiest route. But when I go there, like I try to lead the Hilichurls, the Metatrolls away, and they just simply like break everything that it really pisses me off. That this yeah, what was his name? Saverick, yeah, Saverick pay me didn't pay me much. I mean, he paid me like what 500 mora. Just come on, that should be like 10,000 mora.
Yeah, you're a merchant. You can afford it.
Yeah. But yeah, oh god, yeah. Saverick is one of the annoying NPCs in the commissions. I mean,
Yeah,
oh
I
yeah,
hate that guy.
he is from Snezhnaya, right?
Ah, makes sense. Please don't
Yep,
kill
it
me,
makes
child
sense.
Sims.
Oh god, yep.
All right, so we're gonna take some questions from chat at the moment. While we're doing that, Clem and I will just banter on for a little bit. If you have no questions, that's also fine as well. But I'll just keep it
uh,
on for maybe about like
also,
yeah.
also to add, I also hate Tangwin because she always, she always steals my food. That is unacceptable. Because I
Oh,
love food, and if someone steals it, I will actually like get mad because the food I ordered and Tangwen just steals it away and eats it. That's unacceptable.
so what one question we got from kind of a general question. The twin Kims asks, "What's it like being a lore tuber? You know, what's the community like? I guess."
Oh, I mean it's pretty good. I mean there are chill like YouTube lorists and everything, and I really enjoy uh the the environment they put in. I mean, I'm really well handled here, and it's really awesome that when I ask for certain things or what is this about or what's the lore of this, they really are lorists because they're like answering my every question, the lore that I don't know about, and it's an awesome community to have, like to help you in researching lore about Genshin, and I really appreciate you guys. And it's really awesome.
That's great, man. And we have the president of Scaramouche Nation. Everyone give a salute. What's your favorite theory that has zero real evidence and is pure crack? So I guess what's your favorite crack theory? If you have one.
I mean, the Paimon theory, really.
And what's that? Just for people who, who may not know.
Oh, wait, if I recall it. Wait, let me check on.
Oh, the Paimon theory. That
Oh,
Paimon.
oh yeah, like who is the god of time? She.
Oh my God, that one. Okay.
Yep.
Because you put the clock, and then it's the next day, and
I
that
mean,
that sort of thing.
y- yeah, I mean, there's also like the theory that Paimon is the sustainer of the heavenly principles. There's that theory too. That's a big stretch, but yeah.
Paimon's also one of the 72 demons, right?
Oh, yeah, on the Ars Goetia, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe so. So, could be related. So, Doug asks, if you're a long-time player, how does it feel to have played Genshin from the start till now? Or if you're new to the game, how beginner-friendly is Genshin to you?
Oh, basically, it's like playing the game as a noob or anything but that. But when I started out in Genshin, I really didn't know how everything works. Like my characters would be messed up in the artifact section. I would be using different types of weapons. I will be building like my characters or like my every characters that would cost like Mora and everything. But yeah, it is beginners friendly if you like watch some guides on in YouTube. But my experience in playing Genshin was really an awesome experience like um to feel because I get to enjoy these new types of events, mechanics, and everything, and even pull for like one of my favorite characters and whatnot. But it's really a surreal experience because I've been basically playing this game for a year now, and I really love that you get to experience these things if you are there to play them. But yeah, the only thing I hated about it was the RNG and the wish system.
The worst. Actually, funnily enough, FGO is still the worst in my opinion, so take it from someone who's played FGO and is hopelessly in the void. So, next
Yeah.
question we have here is from Tori. Do you think Scaramouche will be relevant in Sumeru? If yes, why and to what extent?
Hmm. I mean,
He's gonna die, right? I don't think so. Well, we think, anyways.
I think, or I personally believe that there will be another Harbinger involved in Sumeru. I mean, because it's about time we meet more of these Harbingers.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So probably not, right? It's probably another person will step in.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that one of the Harbingers that might be in there is Dottore, Il Dottore, because he was from Sumeru and he's a smartass, right? Oh wait, no, sorry about that. Il Dottore is not from Sumeru, but he studied in Sumeru Academia. So it's quite an interest. It might be true that he might be involved in Sumeru in the upcoming storyline. Yeah, that's my answer.
Cool, cool. And we're gonna have one last question. I'm sorry for everybody, but we need to keep a tight time here. We're a little bit over, which is great because part two is gonna be banging. But Silhouette asks,
Okay,
"What
okay.
are your thoughts on the Lawrence? Oh gosh,
Ra-
Ragnvinders,
Ragenvinders,
Ragnvinders, and I'm not gonna read that.
G- Gunhilders.
And Gunhildr's forgetting the god of time. Do you think it's a case like how Istaroth sort of quote unquote planted memory of the sacred Sakura in the people of Inazuma? Or do you have another theory? Why and how do you think the records disappeared, and how even Henry Morton, a scholar, seems to barely know anything about Istaroth? Well, that's
Hmm.
quite a question.
That is quite a question. Okay, so let me think. So there was a discussion that these clans wanted to remove the god of time's existence because they wanted to plant that Barbatos is the only god in Mondstadt.
Hmm. Interesting.
But also, wait, okay,
Yeah, take your time on
sorry.
this one. It's
Okay.
super long-winded question that has a lot
Yeah,
of not only things I can't comprehend, but things I can't pronounce.
yeah. I mean, they wanted also to take advantage of the importance of religion in Mondstadt. So that's why they established so that's why they established Barbatos as the only god in Mondstadt.
Hmm. Gotcha. And I think they were talking about the some of the theory behind how the records disappeared too.
Oh yeah. So how the records disappeared is that, I mean, during the aristocracy, right? There were said to wait I think there was the Great Library of Mondstadt that the Lawrence clan the Lawrence clan um burns like every records that that happened in Mondstadt because um wait, I need to confirm this thought that
Truffles,
I
Truffles, where are you?
Truffles is in his room. He's currently editing the video.
Oh no! Like just yell across the hall. Hey, is this correct?
Maybe in part 2, I guess we'll explain more on that. Because he's really busy. Like, there's
Gotcha.
you gotta do he's gotta do it. He said to me that I need to finish this. I'll be in the other room. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Gotcha.
but yeah. I think that will be probably explained in the part 2, if there is a part 2.
If
Maybe,
there's a part two, so if
possibly.
you want your question answered,
Yeah.
there has to
If
be a
you
part two.
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, yeah, if you guys want, like, we can.
We'll
Oh
see.
god, yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
We're gonna have to talk to the boss about that though. Uh,
Yeah.
our beloved administrator Haru. We're gonna have
I mean,
to.
you guys can post more questions that you would like to ask me, and I would answer them.
Yeah, for sure,
Or
absolutely. And I think
maybe,
you're.
I
Oh, sorry.
mean,
Go ahead.
oh, it's okay. Or maybe you want to ask some questions to Truffles.
Yeah.
He'll be
You guys
there
have
in part 2.
you guys have a Twitter as well, if I'm not mistaken, or
Oh yeah, we have a Twitter.
yeah,
It's what? It's KlemenTime at
yeah,
Clement. It's oh, wait. It's I forgot. Sorry. Oh, okay. So it's at KlemenTime. If you want to follow me in Twitter.
yeah. And you can probably you can probably reach out to you through Twitter as well if you have any questions. And you also have a YouTube as well. So if maybe some of your videos have already answered the questions that are being asked at the moment. Oh, and by the way, Haru
Yeah.
wanted me to share. There is a guide for beginners that Coffee and Culture have created. You can find it right here, or perhaps for
Ooh.
those of you listening at home, you can find the link below as well. I gotta remember. Hey, put the guide in the description somewhere. So that's a note to myself. Or
Yep.
perhaps if there isn't, come on over to Coffee and Culture server, and we'll definitely hook you up with the guide.
Yep. That's cool. I might need it someday if I really forgot certain things. But yeah, the
Absolutely,
beginner's
for
guide is
sure.
is gonna be useful for new players in Genshin. So yeah, that's a good thing to have, a beginner's guide.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you write your own beginner's guide? Do you have any? Would you write your own beginner's guide for lore? How about that?
Oh, Ashikai actually wrote and made a video about it, a beginner's guide on lore. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, on YouTube. She wrote a beginner's guide in Liyue and in Monstat, I think. So yeah, I mean you can check her out too.
absolutely, definitely. So,
But
Clem. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh oh, because me and Ashikai actually know each other, and I mean we also have a group chat where we also discuss lore. I mean, there's also a bunch of lore creators there in our group. So yeah, we know each other.
Bring them all over for part 2.
That's gonna be like a long podcast.
Oh, we
But
got time. We just need a
we
plan
got
for it.
time. Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, it would be cool. Would be cool.
Absolutely. All right, Clem. We're about 20 minutes over time. We've had so much to talk about, maybe too much to talk about, and I think
Yeah.
people are demanding a part 2. But for today, any last words for the people out there?
Okay, so I mean, if you guys want part two, I mean, we can make it. I mean, we can make part two. Me and Truffles are gonna be there. We might also invite some special guests to make an appearance. But yeah, it's an awesome experience to actually be the first guy to like be in the part one of the podcast. Like, it's really a good experience to have because I was never really a part of a podcast, and it's my first time explaining these interesting topics to you guys. So it's a really good experience to have, and I'm really excited for more. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like, it's honestly, it's wholesome, it's funny. Also, yeah, it's and it actually made it's really nervous. It's nerve-wracking, but I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Well, Clem,
And
you definitely slayed it, in my
uh,
opinion.
yeah, I mean, thank you guys. I love you all. Thank you for inviting me here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, once again, Clem, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast. This is the first step in a long, long journey that we're bringing
Yeah.
everyone on board with. It's going to be great. We're going to explore Teyvat together, and we have you as our number one, the forefront, our first tour guide. So I'd like to thank you for spearheading and starting this journey with us. So
Oh yeah.
thank you.
I mean, thank you too, DC, for hosting it. Like, it's really you're a ni- you're a nice guy to like talk to lore and stuff or to storytell. I mean, you're a great dude, man. I really
Uh,
appreciate it.
oh, I sure hope so.
And also, I really like your voice. It's
Yeah,
really
thank you.
you sound like Zhang Li. Like, it's pretty cool.
I get that a lot. I absolutely get that a lot. I gotta tell you about that another time. Oh, by the way, Clem, where can we find you at? So we can find you on Twitter. We can find you on
Oh,
YouTube. Are you in? Are you in? Are you gonna be hanging around this server a lot as well? Can people like talk to you at all, or feel free to reach out? Or
I mean, yeah, I definitely I have the time if you want to talk to me, right?
awesome, awesome. So you
I
can find them
mean,
here, folks.
I also have a Instagram,
Oh,
but it's in what? But it's an art account. It's an art.
oh, you do art.
Well, not like draw, but not now actually. I'm not drawing now.
I see, gotcha. Spoilers for part 2. We're gonna investigate this, guys. We'll investigate this together. And you have a Patreon, of course. If you want to support
Oh yeah.
KlemenTime's work and everything that he and Truffles does, please subscribe to his Patreon. Because there are a lot of hard-working people out there that do this in their spare time, and Clem is definitely one of them. Clem and Truffles as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you can support us too on Patreon if you guys want. But yeah, we really do this because we really love making these videos. Genshin lore, we have a lot of things that we can make a video about, or we could even add like some unique edits to it. So yeah, we do this as like we're having fun, and I really appreciate that you guys enjoy the work that we do.
Absolutely. So we're nearing the end of our podcast. I'd like to thank, first of all, Haru for letting this all happen in
Oh yeah,
Coffee and Culture.
thank you, Haru.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Expect many great things ahead. I'd like to thank Issa for helping out. I'd like to thank Lemon for also helping out with setting up this podcast as well. Many exciting times ahead. And I've been DC. Thank you so much for allowing me to participate in this. This marks the end of episode 1, everybody. And I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.